Are you ready?
When do we clap?
We're gonna go. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna clap. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Damn it! Cole, it's so far from when I clapped.
Hey y'all, you're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap love stories with happy endings, usually in novel form, and giggle at each other's antics. We hope you've been staying safe and healthy out there. If you want more content to fill the hours of not going out for the foreseeable future, you can check out The Party over on Patreon. We've got tons of bonus content for your ear holes and your joy. And now, we're doing something you love. A different best friend of Erin's is on the pod today. That's right. You better prepare yourself for the deep baritone and sizzling hot takes of your pal and mine, Cole. He's here to recap, reenact, and chortle over the Disney movie musical Newsies. This episode is roughly 25 years in the making, so please honor the historic moment that this represents. Without further ado, Erin and Cole.
All right, are you ready for this?
Oh my god. This is what I was born for.
In 1899, the streets of New York City echoed with the voices of Newsies, peddling the newspapers of Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst and other giants of the newspaper age. On every corner, you could see him carrying the banner. Hear him or see him? I don't know. Hear him, see him. On every corner, you could hear him. I think it's hear him.
It's actually on every corner you see him carrying the banner. Bringing you the news for a penny a pape. Poor orphans and runaways. The Newsies were a ragged army. Without a leader. Until one day, all that changed.
You got the kid snapping in his sleep.
Oh my god. I mean, what is with the 13-year-old sucking his thumb at some point?
Dude, these kids are traumatized. They're orphans, man.
I get that they're traumatized, but can I just say, that's a nice little boarding house.
It is.
That was the first thing. I was like, they got room?
Yeah.
They got posters on the walls. Yeah. It's painted.
Those pillows are the same pillows we get in the army. The exact same ones. The stripy ones. Blue stripy ones.
Well, then you guys are sleeping well. Because those kids were asleep. They look fed. They go to that free continental breakfast a little later. Every day.
They do have a free breakfast. It seems like that nice old guy. I don't remember his name. I think he takes care of him pretty well. He hides fugitives. Yeah. He's a good dude.
I mean, he's on the take somewhere, but I like.
But here's the thing: we're skipping ahead.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta go back.
Newsies, perfect film.
I did want to say very quickly before we dive even farther.
Should we talk about our history?
Maybe we should. I do want to say though, for everyone out there, we're gonna make fun of this movie a lot. But understand that we're making fun of it in the fact that it is a perfect film.
This is a perfect... I have the exact same note. This is a perfect movie. You will hear me say that the Santa Fe dance is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Would I change a moment of it? No.
No.
Kenny Ortega...
We're going to talk about Kenny Ortega, right?
Has spliced together, choreographed, directed the perfect film, edited everything. This is a perfect movie.
It is 100% a perfect movie.
And may I say, like, there are some flaws with the acting occasionally.
There are some people that think they are in one movie and some people who think they are in a different movie.
I can't wait to talk to you about what movie Mush thinks he's in. But at the same time, there are some brilliant fucking performances in Newsies.
Oh, yeah. And not by the leads.
No.
Which is awesome.
I don't know. Is Max Casella a lead in this film?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, he's a supporting, but Max Casella is the heartbeat.
Is brilliant in this movie.
Well, it's because he's 37. He's been out of the conservatory for 20 years.
We have this joke that Max Casella is 37, but he is 25 in this movie.
I know that. Oh, I wrote down some ages of people in this movie.
Okay. He's 25, right?
Max, he's 25 when they filmed it. But I was also curious because at some point I had to think, how in the hell did they get Robert Duvall and Anne Margaret in this movie?
How did they get Robert? I noticed Bill Pullman is not on that list. How did they get Robert Duvall? How did they get Anne Margaret? And how did they get them to act in the way that they acted for this film?
I looked so hard to find how much money they just shoveled into Robert Duvall's garage to get him to be in this movie.
We're going to talk about where the money went in this movie. I mean, matte paintings, a trolley strike fire that was completely irrelevant to the film.
There's about 25 minutes in this movie that you're like, don't eat it. Love that you have it. But I also, by the way, with Bill Pullman, you got to remember, Bill Pullman got the Newsies bump off this movie. See, nobody else really got that Newsies bump, but Bill Pullman did Spaceballs and then nothing. Then he's in Newsies, and producers are like, this guy has it.
To the top.
So he goes on a run to A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, Wyatt Earp, While You Were Sleeping, culminating in The President in Independence Day. Like, this is Denton. It. He is the king of New York. Like, that's what happens to Bill Pullman.
Fair enough.
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, here's another thing I want to say. Cole and I have been friends for
decades.
18 years. Point.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Well, no, it was your freshman year.
Yeah.
That's when we met.
So it's been like 20 years.
Yeah, it's been like 20 years.
Cool.
Yeah. That just didn't send a cloud over this whole episode. Awesome.
We've been friends 20 years. How long have we been talking about Newsies?
21 years somehow. It's been forever.
Cole and I love Newsies. I just want you to know, like, this is not like, oh, we decided today to watch Newsies. We've both seen Newsies over 50 times.
I think we've seen it over 50 times together.
Yes, probably, yeah. Here's some knowledge. I got Disney Plus 3 weeks ago. I've seen Newsies 3 times. 2 of them were before we decided to do this podcast.
I should have ran the numbers because I got Disney Plus around the same time, and I had a big writing assignment I had to do for work, and I just had Newsies on a loop. I'll bet it rings 15 times on my Disney Plus. It was just in the background constantly.
We could do Newsies right now as a 2-person play. I know every line in this movie.
I actually thought this was going to be like a sing-along.
That's fine.
I didn't know how we were going to do it.
I'll kick it off. That's my cigar.
Yell, steal, and
Hey, bummers, we got work to do. We can do the whole thing.
I really could. It's for your ears, we're not.
Yeah,
because I can't sing. When I sat down to do the notes for this, because I've seen it 1,000 times, but I'm like, I'm going to watch it seriously, Cole. Sit down, take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I didn't even start the movie, and I typed out the entire prologue word for word.
Yeah, I did
and
too.
I didn't get it wrong. And I watched the movie, and I'm like, I didn't miss a word. And some people might think, Cole, you're 36. You should concentrate on other shit. Those people are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of my knowledge.
Mm-hmm. I tried to watch it. So I watched it again this morning, and I was like, Erin, clear your head of how you're a Newsies fangirl. Just clear it and just watch it as an adult person. And try to watch the background stuff. Because I've never watched it seriously before. I've only watched it just to watch it, you know?
Because it just puts you in such a cloud of joy.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, I saw a couple background things I've never seen before.
Oh, I'm interested. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, okay. Opening shot, sepia tone. We've got a statue. Cole's pumping his fists in the air.
So excited.
We've got a statue. Kids sleeping on a statue of who, Cole?
Horace Greeley. Now, don't you think it would have been awesome, though, if it was a Joseph Pulitzer statue? I
do. I think that would have been a sound metaphor. But does Kenny Ortega do metaphors?
He clearly does not.
The child is cradled in the arms of the statue. Then we go. Newsies boarding house.
Nice apartment building.
It's nice.
Yes.
And, you know, they act like they're getting a rude awakening by the lodging house owner guy. It's like
10 o'clock in the morning.
It's like light out. He's being nice to him. He's kind of like, hey, guys, wake up. Like, they're pissed They're pissed.
Yes. Well, and I do love that at this point in the movie, Christian Bale's like, I'm not going to go into my New York accent yet.
No.
Not yet.
He's got to ease into it and out of it and into it and out and then like commit really hard, too hard, way too hard, and then just back off of it a little bit.
Are you talking about ambassadors? Is that what you're talking about?
There's so many. One thing I have to discuss with you.
Sure.
Mush. How old's Mush?
Yeah. You know, Mush is age appropriate.
Because the abs on Mush in this opening scene are insane.
Yeah, he's cut. Yeah, he's cut. Mush is Dean Portman from D2 and D3.
Yes.
He is also, his name is Erin Lore. We can say his name. Most of the other characters, I don't want to say their real names.
Why?
They are only their characters in Newsies to me, but he just married Idina Menzel.
So he gets a name?
He gets a name.
He's like ripped in this movie.
Yes. Yes, he is. It's. I feel like what happened was like they were doing rehearsals before the movie and everybody was just kind of in baggy clothes and he like changed his shirt and Kenny was like, he's not going to wear a shirt the whole movie. Got it.
Well, here's like of the leads, like if we're talking about like Jack, Davey, Race, like Kid Blink, like the guys you see throughout, Mush is the only one that can both dance and sing. Of all of
very
those
talented
guys.
Dancer and singer. He was in he was like a player in not Grease, Rent.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up being in the movie. So I think like the theater is sort of where he makes his money. But yeah, he's clearly the only one that's like, guys, this is not that hard.
Right. And I have a question for you. How pissed is he that he didn't get the lead in this movie?
No shit. At least Davey.
Right.
You know he auditioned for Davey.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, here's the problem, Mush. You're not any good at saying the words.
Right. You think you're in a different film than the film that you're in. We've got a line for you, and that line is, I gotta find an angle. And it's going to come in a couple of minutes. You can put your all into that line.
Well, the minute that he puts his back into that line.
We're not there yet. We're only 25 minutes into this podcast.
Where he is, asked Jack, how'd you sleep, Jack? And he goes, on me back. And he goes, on me back, Mush. You hear Jackie boy, on me back, Mush. I'm like, yeah, sit in the back there, Erin. You're not in some vaudeville film from like 1922, okay? Yeah. Just pump the brakes.
Yeah, he's hitting it hard. But Max Casella is hitting all the right beats. Like, past the towel, that line, Max Casella is doing great work. Like, honestly, I'm not being sarcastic here. He's doing great work in this movie.
It almost makes him look bad how much he's like out acting everybody in the movie. Just
watch him in the background. He's honestly doing so good.
Oh my God, I love this movie so much.
Did they start dancing?
They do. Now, do you think, and I'm not going to say this because in musicals it's easy to say, oh my God, the dance numbers, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Do you feel like this is something they do every morning?
Yes. 100%.
Would that not be exhausting to wake up? Is that why Christian Bale's mad about getting up? He's like, we got to sing this fucking song again.
He's mad because he's not only got to sing this fucking song again and shave. Can we talk about
why
how
is
Jack
he shaving?
Kelly shaves? He wakes up.
Why is he shaving?
Completely baby faced and then shaves. So they go outside, they start dancing, and he is the worst dancer. He's so bad that I noticed in this view, I decided to just watch Christian Bale try to dance in this dance number. That's all I watched in this one. He's so bad, he nearly injures himself. He runs into a guy at one point. There's a time where he has to like roll under a person and he doesn't do it fast enough. And the real like professional dancing kid trips over him and then has to like save it.
He definitely lumbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is not. Well, and the funny part is Christian Bale hates this movie. And I don't just mean he hated it then. He actually, in real life, hates this movie.
Such fucking bullshit. Christian Bale is the biggest fucking asshole in the world. I hate Christian Bale. I can't argue with that. Such an asshole. Whenever anyone's like, ooh, Christian Bale, I'm like, he would punch you in your face if you were in a relationship with him. He's a horrible person.
Oh, particularly if you're a family member. 100%.
Yes. Or you're like just a guy working on like his Terminator movie trying to like hold a boom mic. He's going to lay you out for no fucking reason.
That guy's the reason that movie blew.
Yeah, that definitely is.
But he would not even go see, like, he got asked about the musical when it came out, and he's like, yeah, I won't go see that. I'm not a musicals guy. I'm not going to go see that.
Fuck you, Christian. Can you imagine how mad Erin was when he heard Christian Bale say that? He's like, I am a musicals guy. Put me in, coach. Put me in.
I can do this.
All right. Okay. I'm moving it along. And then we got the nuns. We're still in the same song, guys. We're still in the opening number.
Strap in. Like, this is... right. We're not going anywhere. We're here for you.
Get these nuns.
And, well, mostly we're here for us in this one, to be honest with you.
This isn't for anybody else.
But, okay, the nuns come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm thankful for the nuns because there are exactly 3 times when a woman sings in this movie. You know this, I know this, because we would sing along to the soundtrack, and I got 3 parts. The nuns, Patrick's mom, and then in the Newsies ass-kicking song at the end, Sarah has one line, think about seizing the day, and that's it.
Now, people are going to say that we are getting that wrong.
No.
But one thing we have agreed on since day one is that we don't count Anne Margaret's songs.
Oh, no, sorry, no,
in this movie.
No.
And I think we need to clear that up because I feel like some listeners were like, wait a minute.
Skip.
Oh, my go away.
Skip.
Because at some point, I have to ask myself, like, it's a little too sexual, too. Like, her relationship with boys.
I have so much fucking notes on how
good.
Anne Margaret chose to play this role and how Disney was cool with it.
So weird. So, yeah, the nuns come out of nowhere. The woman who's singing, who is that?
Patrick's
it's not
mom.
A nun.
No, it's Patrick's mom. Patrick is a lost child of some kind.
Are you making this up? Are you fucking with me right now?
The first line of that song is Patrick, darling. Is it not?
Maybe it is. I don't know. And I don't get to sing that part.
She's Patrick's mom. She's looking for Patrick. Since you left me high and undone. That's her.
I'm
that's
with
Patrick's
you.
mom.
You're right. You're 100% right.
And she is maybe the most talented person in this film.
No maybe about that.
Her part makes no sense. No one knows who she is. She curls in anguish at the end of this. Like, it fades out. Her and Mush are in the same movie.
I had on here, did a ghost punch her in the stomach? Because she just does this, like, heaving forward move.
Oh my god. But we skipped. Okay, so the nuns are singing, and then they got these one-liners, like Race is like, just give me half a cup, like those. And then Mush goes, you do it best.
So yeah, it swings around, and Mush, who has been like happy-go-lucky all morning,
great.
just on cloud 9, is all of a sudden looks up to the sky. I gotta find an angle.
And then the best part is the following line is crutchy. And then he's just like reaching for a cup of coffee or something. He's like, I gotta sell more papes. Yeah, like it's not a fucking angle, Mush. Like we're just selling newspapers, man.
I gotta find a fucking angle.
Gotta find an angle. He's trying so hard.
We do know, unfortunately, some of these kids didn't survive long in life, and I feel like Mush made some bad choices early and probably didn't make it.
Mush fucks the mayor's daughter. Oh, no, wait. That's Kid Blink. Never mind.
Yeah, that's Kid Blink. Yep.
He did meet a girl last night, though. Maybe it's going to work out. All right.
And apparently tore up that bathroom, but whatever.
Okay, so now we're to the first time when Disney does a weird thing with sexual newsies, and that's the word assassination.
Why are they humping into the air with assassination?
For an earthquake, they stagger around. For a war, they stab each other and, like, shoot each other. For assassination, they hump the air sexually. What is that?
And hard.
And hard.
Are we kind of assuming everybody knows who Kenny Ortega is, or should we explain a little bit?
He's the director of the film. Everybody knows.
Well, no, he's also the choreographer of Dirty Dancing. So he's got that move, and he apparently thought he had Crazy Swayze in every part, who could sell these awesome dance moves that he came up with. And what he had was Christian Bale lumbering his hips into the air like he's jackhammering an assassination. And
then rolling around on the ground. The only move that Christian Bale has is like the kick dirt shuffle move. He's real good at that one. He can kick some shuffling dirt.
And he tries to sort of move your attention by shouting occasionally, like, huh, ha, ha,
You know what? I've watched that many times. Those are added later. There's
you're probably right.
Those are a later ad, and I think the reason why is: have you ever watched the Santa Fe dance on mute?
No.
It gets way crazier when there's no music, and I have a feeling that when it was just music, it like they're like, we need something here. Let's get Christian here to do a couple grunts into the microphone because we need it to look like he's doing something and not just kicking.
What I love is they had apparently a song for Sarah, but Ellie Keats, who plays Sarah, was so bad at singing.
What?
That they cut it out, and I was like, worse than Christian Bale.
Worse than Christian Bale.
Find that hard to believe.
What? I never knew that.
Yeah. Oh, I came prepared.
Here's the thing.
I wanted to bring you some new nugs.
There's one girl in this movie.
Yes.
They cast her.
Yes.
Is she good at acting?
Well, is she asked to act in this movie?
Not really, but there are a couple times where she does, and it's not great.
Because all she has to do is she serves soup.
Yeah.
She avoids what I'm assuming would have been a sexual assault or rape by the Delanceys.
I'm not sure about that one. I don't know that the Delanceys were trying to rape Sarah. We'll get there.
And then she has to kiss Jack at the end. Like that's what
she does that good.
They go for that.
Yeah.
That is no hitch in that giddy up.
Yeah. Well,
but okay, that's 3 hours down the line.
From now in podcast time.
Yes.
Okay. So immediately after the song, we got the Delancey brothers.
I love the Delancey. Now, you are on record as being pro Colonel Jessup in A Few Good Men.
Yes. You want me on that wall? You need me on that wall.
Are you secretly, and would you like to announce today that you are also Team Delancey brothers?
Ooh. I'm sorry, how did you pronounce that?
The Delancey brothers.
There you go. No, because you know how they're gonna go fix Davy so he can't walk no more. Okay. That's really the turn for the Delancey brothers for me. Up until then, they don't really do anything wrong. They're just kind of there. They push down that kid, call him a shrimp, but that's nothing Jack wouldn't also do.
But the reason I ask is because, Jessup killed Santiago.
Yeah, he did. Well, kind of. He ordered the code red.
We definitely know he ordered the code red.
The Delancey brothers didn't do anything wrong, like objectively wrong.
I knew this was going to be your take on this.
Until they go try to work over Davy at the end.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought you would say. I was just wanted to make sure I was right.
Up until all they do is push that kid down and call him a shrimp, which I feel like any newsie might do as like a joke.
Yeah, Jack absolutely starts the fight at the beginning.
100%. That's why Davy's like, what are you doing? And he's like, run in.
The trash talk could use a little punch up on the script, though.
The family resemblance here with your brother.
Oh,
little shrimp.
That was an insult. And so is this. You just took my hat. It's okay. I'm good.
Dave and Les. Introduction.
Where's
here.
Les get that sword?
Where do they get tons of stuff? Where do they get the fucking signs that have paint on them that say strike? Garment workers strike. Like, where is that? Where do they get paint at? Where do they get...
Well, one of them says strict. I just want to be clear.
There's a lot of spelling errors, which is true to the time. Many children could not read. I have a historical point coming up you're going to love.
Oh, God. Oh, good. Did you historically fact check?
I did.
This
I
movie?
did do a historical fact check. So they're getting their papes. And then Davy goes up and he only wants 20 papes. Weasel shorts him, gives him 19 papes. Jack gets involved, makes sure he gets all his papes. Then he's like, here's some more papes for you, Davy. They don't call them newspapers, you guys. They call them papes. And he gives them...
Because they're not newspapers.
No, they're papes.
Erin.
Yeah. So then... he doesn't want more papes. Jack's like, Newsies want more papes. They make a deal that they're going to sell all their newspapers together with Les, the child, and then Jack spits on his hand. Davy doesn't want to spit on his hand. All the newsboys are laughing at him. It's big embarrassed. And then they decide to work together. 60-40.
So,
did I do a good recap?
I'm at this point in the movie, every time I see it, I'm like, Davy, get the fuck out of here.
God.
Like, seriously.
What is he doing there? Like,
what did you think was going to happen? You were going to save your family. Your dad has a broken arm. you're going to save your family, and you're like, here's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell 20 cents worth of papers every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell 20 newspapers in the whole of Manhattan.
Yeah. And then he comes
Real
home
work
and
ethic there,
he
Dave.
puts the money on the table, and the dad's like, that's pretty impressive. You earn all that selling newspapers? He's like, no, 40%. Actually, he says, no, half is Jack.
Yeah, it says, he's like, yeah, no, we don't get to keep that there,
In
Dad.
reality,
No,
he doesn't tell his dad he made a 60-40 deal with Jack.
Yeah, he's like, Pop, keep your grubby mitts off of my money. Half of that goes to Jack.
Sarah apparently has a job that doesn't start until about 11 a.m. This family's just not doing a lot of great planning for their future.
No, I mean, they have chocolate cake.
They have chocolate
I'm just saying.
cake. Well, I've got a hot take on the chocolate cake, too, coming up. Okay.
Can't wait.
All right. Okay. The MVP, though, of that scene where they team up is the kid that walks through with the newspapers on his shoulder.
With the smile.
I don't think we've ever talked about this. That kid who does, like, the wink, who, like, walks through the frame, who's just like, yeah.
He's the only one who gets that Jack is scamming them.
Yes. And he definitely gets it.
Yes, yeah. And he wanted to make sure that everybody, like, if you're Davey, who's supposed to be the brains of the operation,
God, I have a hot take on that as well.
Wouldn't you be like, hey, what was that fucking guy just doing? That was very obvious.
So obvious, like big winks, like, hey.
Like right in front of me.
Right? Yeah, that kid's the MVP of this scene. We never see that actor again. He's gone.
Nope, he's done. He's gone.
Ortega's like, get him out of here. It's too much. And then we have our introduction of Academy Award winner Robert Duvall.
Yep. Yes. Rob, quick little comment.
Do you have some notes?
You were in The Godfather.
You were in Apocalypse Now.
You are you were in
Secondhand Lions, Robert Duvall.
I was just going to say Secondhand Lions. God damn it.
Sorry. Beat you to it. It was a good movie.
Those classics.
It was a good movie.
It's a movie.
It's not as bad as you think it's gonna be. Secondhand Lions.
It's a movie. But you took all of that talent and you distilled it into what I can only imagine is a coke-fueled fucking Joseph Pulitzer.
The best part is when he's tallying up numbers in his head. He's like, are you scatting? Like, what?
See, that is not my favorite part.
What is yours?
My favorite part is later when he's talking to Jack at the end and he's like, you shut up, boy.
No.
You shut up and listen to me, boy.
Listen to me for once.
You shut up, boy. And Jack has not said anything.
And also, you listen to me for once. As if they've met before.
Are you guys having weekly Newsies meetings?
I definitely have that note. But this also, the writing in this scene is incredible.
Spectacular.
They start off, like, Hearst is beating us. What are we going to do? Hearst is beating us at the newspaper game. Then Robert Duvall says, we need more profits. I'm a businessman and I've decided more profits is the way that we
would be beneficial
need to go
for us.
And he's like, money. This is like the line. Money. We need more of it. And I need to find out how I can get it by tonight. Quote, Joseph Pulitzer. Profits, money, more. Need to figure out how. And then they have this idea of jacking up the Newsies' prices. And then they're like, they'll just go to Hearst. And he's like, no, Hearst will also jack up the prices. I know. And then it's like, the whole thing started because you wanted to beat Hearst, my man. What's the point?
And I love how one of the guys, the little, twerpy looking guy, is like, well, I've got some other options here. We could, reduce the price of the paper. I'll sell more papers and we can reduce salaries. And Pulitzer's like,
fuck you.
I never want to fucking see you again. Okay.
Well, and then the other one's like, it's going to
here.
be pretty hard on those starving boys. And he's like, shut your mouth.
I love how Sykes is like the white angel or whatever. That's like, I don't know, boss.
The only reason we even know that guy's name is near the end. Pulitzer's like, shut your mouth, Sykes.
Sykes, I'm sick and tired of you worrying about these little kids.
personally hates Jack Kelly already. He has no idea he exists.
Well, we have to figure out why everybody hates Jack Kelly, because I don't understand why anybody gives a shit who Jack Kelly is. So a kid escaped from the refuge.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it your life's mission to find the one kid?
I think this movie operates on the premise that adults get pissed off when kids get one over on them. They will stop at nothing to murder, the children who got one over on them. Because, I mean, that's what Pulitzer's like, going to the nines, trying to, like, beat these Newsies. Like, that's the thesis of the movie, when Davy's like, well, you're a fool. You're not acting in your self-interest, right? Like, right. he just has to beat these kids. And, like, that's fucking Snyder, too. He's like, one kid got away. I've got to prove that I'm better than this kid.
Well, you guys aren't, because later when they get Jack out of Pulitzer's house and they do the escape plan, there's like 9 guards there, and Davy's just like, Jack, over here! And he gets away. So you guys aren't as good as the kids.
Yeah, or how, like, when they're gonna get Crutchy out and, like, the carriage opens the door and there's just 2 kids standing there with a long rope. Yeah. And then they just walk in.
One of them's dressed like a goddamn cowboy for no reason.
One of them has a rope. A rope! Whew. All right, okay, all right. We're out selling papes.
Yes.
We're at the boxing match.
I do love the line, my father taught us not to lie. Yeah, well, my father taught us not to starve, so we both got an education.
Yeah, I don't mind that line. It shows
I actually like that.
There's a few lines in this movie I really like. That is one of them. And it shows you that Jack Kelly, he's hard, you know?
He is hard.
He's hard. That's what the whole point of the Delancey brothers is too.
Not. Well, and you know how, like, Jack's nuts, because there is nothing that excites him more, and this includes Sarah, than violence.
Yeah, he
is
violence.
Never happier than when he is watching a 58-round boxing match or the trolley strikers getting their asses kicked.
He loves it.
That's
the whole
he's like
point
licking
of that trolley strikers, the fire and everything, is to show that Jack loves when things get set on fire and people get beat to shit. That's the whole point of that scene.
He was like licking his lips. He's like,
I can't wait to see this violence.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that's all of them, and maybe Jack most because he's their leader. But like, Kid Blink also loves violence. Spot Conlon definitely fucking loves some violence.
We're gonna have to talk about Spot in a little bit.
Wait.
We can't just drop his name and move on.
The only person in this film that doesn't love violence is Davy.
Yeah, well, because even Denton is like, I'm a war correspondent. I got to get back to the war. I'm going back to the war.
He's an ace war correspondent.
Sorry. That was a bizarre flex, by the way.
Bizarre flex is almost verbatim what I wrote down on my notepad here. Okay. All right. So they're at the boxing match. Snyder sees Jack Kelly. He's like, that's the kid that escaped from my place. What's it called? Refuge. From the refuge. He escaped. I got to get him. They chase him around. And, like, they run into this brothel? Oh.
Yeah, we have to go back and talk about... Yes, by the way, that's correct. Yes. We have to talk about Snyder for a minute because he's obviously... for those of you who may not recognize Snyder, he's the guy who owned the bar in the Double Deuce.
Okay, all right.
So he's come a long way. He's running a children's prison now, but he's clearly a shitty businessman.
He's not great.
He cannot handle his shit. And he's running around chasing this kid. Why does I get why Jack the child runs through the boxing ring? Why is Snyder trying to get through the boxing ring?
I don't know. Why is he running at all? Like, just be like, hey, I saw this kid here selling newspapers at the boxing match. You know where he's probably going to be tomorrow? Selling newspapers at the boxing match. Does somebody want to go down there and pick him up? That's how this works. Not the warden personally chasing the child through the streets of New York City.
Especially the 18-year-old child to take him back to the children's refuge.
Right.
Out of your jurisdiction now, sir.
Is he 18? Is Jack Kelly 18? Because it's irrelevant for an upcoming scene.
I think so. I think he's 18.
17.
Well, either way, they want to throw him in the children's refuge until he's like 63. So
and
I don't.
21, 17 or 18. He fucked Anne Margaret, and let's talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. I wrote down here. Is she banging Jack Kelly?
She's not only banging Jack Kelly, she's banging all of these kids. Anne Margaret chose to play a pedophile in this movie. And it is her fault and the fault of the director for letting her do it.
No. When she's like hugging Jack into her breast?
Yes! She's interested in less. A 7-year-old, 10-year-old child, a 10-year-old child. She's like, ooh, look at this little boy.
She gives him all the candy he wants. She's grooming these children.
She's like, bring him into my stable. I swear to God, it's real creepy. And then at the end during the rally, she kisses Jack Kelly on the mouth.
On the mouth.
On the mouth.
Yeah.
How old is Anne Margaret in this movie?
51 years old.
51 years old. A 51-year-old woman kisses a 17, maybe 18-year-old boy on the mouth in this film.
Yes. And I like that they set her up as a burlesque dancer. Yeah. That's a brothel.
Yes. Yeah, she's the owner of this. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely changed that angle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, shout out Mush in the musical.
Oh, good.
That's not. Yeah, she's not banging Jack.
Guys, I haven't seen the musical because I kind of can't. I can't get around it, but I will. I'm not objecting to the musical. I just feel like I'm nervous about it.
I appreciated when I saw it because I was afraid it was going to be like a bad imitation job of the movie, kind of scene for scene, and they changed enough stuff to where I can see them as separate entities, which I appreciate.
I'm not worried about it being a bad imitation job of the movie. I'm not worried about it being bad. I'm worried about it being good, Cole.
Well,
I'm worried about liking it too much.
Let me just say, there may be. I've seen it a lot. I'll just put it that way. It's on Disney Plus, which is unhelpful to my productive.
All right, I'll watch it.
My work production, but it's worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in this scene, we learn that Jack Kelly's real name is definitely not Jack Kelly because the warden says something else to him. And let's see. We also learn that he escaped from the refuge. He tells Davy and Les that it's because he was starving and he stole some food. We learn that his parents are in Santa Fe and they're going to send for him.
But when he says I stole some food, like that should have been said, I think, with maybe a little bit of earnestness. Like I was starving and I stole some food and they threw. He says it like, I stole some food.
I was starving and I stole some food. And then Davy's like, food. And he's like, food.
Yeah, sure, food. I didn't slit that guy's throat. Whatever.
Which would be more believable. Like if Frank Sullivan killed a man, which in 1899. The streets of New York City.
In the streets of New York City,
kids were killing people and like in gang, like they were total adults back then. So I could believe that Frank Sullivan killed a man and he was wanted for a murder.
But I love that when he's talking about like, I'm going to go to Santa Fe with my parents. Here's this cartoon. This is what Santa Fe looks like.
It's different.
You see that?
It's different out there.
Look, it's yellows and reds. On this total cartoon comic book I'm holding in my hand.
Isn't it like a novel or a comic book, right?
Yes, it is a comic, but it's just weird that he's like, this is a picture of Santa Fe.
But he's like read about it. It's not just like he saw a maybe, I don't know. Okay, then we listen to a bullshit song by Anne Margaret. No one gives a shit. Everyone fast forwards through it.
It's all about her trying to turn on the kids.
And it works. Well,
of course it does.
Ooh. Let's see. Okay, so they go out. They're talking about Santa Fe. They're talking about his family and stuff. And then all of a sudden, the trolley strike that's been going on 3 weeks erupts in the streets. And there's a fire.
They spent $4 million or something on this explosion.
This is hands down the most expensive scene in the movie besides maybe the finale scene. And it matters not at all. Like, there's a carriage on fire. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Jack Kelly's in the street punching the air for no reason. And then...
He is, like, salivating at the blood and gore.
Yes. Like the real Christian Bale in real life would be. Do you think This is just this was unscripted. It was completely improvised. That he's like getting off how violent this is.
We're at some point we're going to talk about how badly I want to see the rated R version of this film.
You want to see what happened between Jack Kelly and Anne Margaret?
I want to see the hard R version of Newsies because it would explore the space. I'll just put it that way.
Of Jack Kelly being a psychopath?
Yes. Basically, it's probably just Joker, but it's going to be something.
It starts with the murder of the like innocent man, like just the random murder perpetuated by Jack Kelly that gets him thrown into the refuge.
100%. Yes, that's a flashback to that. And the guy had like a piece of bread on him, and after Jack killed him, he took the piece of bread and was like eating it as he walked away from the body.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah,
yes.
food.
Yeah, I stole some. Yeah, I stole food. That's why I went in."
So Davey's like, maybe we should get out of here. It's getting a little weird. Let's go to dinner at my parents' house.
Yeah, let me take you home. What the fuck, Davey?
He's got a friend. He's a friend.
He's got somebody. But if I'm Davey, what have I seen today? Random dude runs up on me and throws papers at me and says, "You owe me this money. I didn't ask to borrow the money. No, you owe me the 2 bits, right? So my 2 bits come off the top." Well, how did I get into this loan shark situation?
Right, yeah.
You just handed me papers. Mm-hmm. Well, we got to be partners. Mm-hmm. Well, shit, now I got to get rid of these papers, so I guess I should partner up with this guy, even though I got Chucky Yucks walking by me with the fucking papers. Then I go to these fights where this guy is like pissing himself with happiness because he's seeing some dudes beat each other up. He's convincing my brother to lie to other people to sell papers. Then we run from the cops for about an hour. Yeah.
Find out this isn't his real name.
Then he takes me to a whorehouse.
Where he makes out with a 50-year-old woman.
Which, by the way, we did skip where Davey walks out of that building at the end and goes, "I enjoyed that.
Ugh.
I like that." So Davey got laid in there. Then he comes out, he sees the trolley strike, and all of a sudden, we've got Christian Bale's, like, eyes turn black. He's fucking fire coming out of his ears. Wants to jump in and, like, murder these dudes. And he's like, "Yeah, that's what you get when you cross the line. That's what you get." And Davey's response to this is, "Well, Les is tired. Let's all go home. Let me show you where I live."
Yeah, his response to this is, "I need somebody to fuck my sister." And this is the guy for that job. Come on, cowboy. Boy, do I have the girl for you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So yes, he brings Davey home. Nice little 2-bedroom. I was expecting smaller.
It's a 1-bedroom. It's a 2-bed.
It's a nice little place.
It's a nice place. Totally. And they're wearing nice clothes and shit. Like, it's nice in there.
Yeah, I was expecting some, like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory shit with, like, beds on beds on beds.
I'm not sure that this family is actually in trouble. I've thought about this a lot. And I'm wondering if Davey really needed to go be a newsie, or he just wanted to go be a newsie to, like, help out, quote unquote, the family, when it's not really, like... They've got a fucking cake.
Well, see, I wonder if it's not Davey wanting to help out the family. I wonder if it's Davey maybe wanting to be that, like, middle-class kid in sort of a safe environment, want to go see what it's like on the streets, go experience the streets, but not really.
Like, he wants to be a guy who needs to make money for his family, and he wants to go be a newsie. Like, I feel like he wants this, like, responsibility, and he wants to be that guy. And, like, slum it.
Yeah, I think he's a fucking poser, but whatever.
That also explains why he brings Jack Kelly home. Like, he wants friends that are hard, you know?
Yeah,
convict
exactly.
friends.
Yeah. Murdering food thief friends. That's who Davey wants to hang out with his little brother.
Yep. So they have a nice dinner. Jack Kelly falls in love with Sarah, the sister, by saying things like love nest and nudes.
Nudes. By the way, Jack... I got to give Jack some credit here because he does not lay up. All right. No. He is like, I heard you say put some more water in the soup. So when they're going around and Sarah's picking up this, she's like, "Yeah, can I get a little more? Can I get a little more of that? Huh? You want to maybe fill it up to the top this time?
Listen,
huh? Maybe not short me."
He's a starving newsie. Here's the best part of this meal, and this is the first time I've noticed it. This on my 70th run through this film is the first time I noticed it. They serve Jack Kelly the chocolate cake and don't give him silverware right away. I think it's Davey that's handing it to him. He is fucking pissed. Like, Christian Bale, level 10 pissed. They hand him the chocolate cake. He looks at it and, like, gives it, like, the biggest, like, the fuck is this sort of face.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Like,
huh?
Looks
what am I,
at
an
his
animal?
hands and then looks back at Davey like, the fuck am I where the fucking silverware? He is so mad. And that whole thing takes about half a second before he gets a fork in his hand. And he's like, okay. Like,
all right.
Find this moment. You're going to lose your shit. He is Christian Bale, real life levels of pissed in this moment. Like, I think they just caught a candid moment of Christian Bale.
When they go out in the rated R version, when they leave the apartment, I think Jack has to apologize for punching Davey's mom. I think they go out there, it's like, look, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I broke your dad's other arm.
Your family, pretty bad hosts, and I realized I got the best of me. I shouldn't have hit your mom. Yeah. I shouldn't have stabbed your dad. That was a mistake. But, come on. Just a little bit of, maybe a modicum of gratitude for me helping you sell 20 cents worth of papers.
Yes. So then he leaves. And then we get a little...
Oh, and Sarah, by the way, Sarah's all into him from second one.
But wouldn't you be... Like, Christian Bale in this movie is super sexy hot. It's not his... Like, it's not something I wanted to happen when I was 13 or whatever. It just is true. Like, it's just a fact. Right. He just is super hot.
Even in the cowboy outfit.
And Sarah can't get enough of it. No matter what he does. He does so much shit in this movie to not be hot. The dance that's upcoming is the stupidest thing I've ever seen on film. It is not a sexy dance. Ooh, ooh. And yet, there's nothing that can be done. I understand why Anne Margaret wants to fuck him. I get it. I'm not proud, but I get it.
I appreciate the honesty. I was wondering if you were going to get there. I was wondering if you were going to tell us all.
I've been there for like 25 years, okay? I'm sorry.
You mentioned it. I think it's time. I'm so excited for Santa Fe. Can we just break this shit down?
So that's what they call a family. All right. The New York accent is never thicker than in the opening lines of Santa Fe. He does not articulate a consonant in this entire song. No. So that's what they call it. Like, it's all together. No hard T's.
Mother, father, daughter, son.
Some.
Guess that everything you heard about
is true.
Was true.
So you ain't got it. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
Oh, but it's beautiful. It's so great.
Oh, this song fucking rips.
Yeah.
All right. I love this song, but he can't fucking sing.
He can't sing, and he
at all.
Definitely can't dance.
Definitely. Not a mover.
But you know what he can do is jump on the back of a horse. That is Christian Bale.
So, again, we've just set up that, like, he's wrongfully accused, right?
That
like,
had air quotes.
I stole some food. Oh, sorry.
For the record, counsel lifted his hands into the air with just the pointer and middle finger on each hand and inclined them as to be quotation marks in the air. Proceed.
Thank you. This dude says, basically, I shouldn't have been in the refuge because I stole food because I was hungry.
Yeah.
In the middle of this song, he steals a fucking horse.
That's my horse.
Which was like the sole mode of transportation for 99.9% of people in 1899.
Point of interest. The man in the Wild West show from whom he steals the horse, is that man supposed to be a Native American man? If so,
sadly, I think
it's
so.
A rough depiction.
Sadly, I think so. Yes.
Also, how many Western props are hanging around the streets of New York? Because first thing you've got as a carriage that's got a bunch of wagon wheels rolls by. Seemingly then unrelated, a pallet of hay. Then in an alley, a poster of a cowboy. Then he encounters the Wild West show with the guys practicing their lassoing. And then the horse.
So I have a theory about this. And I'm not sure we've ever talked about it. We have not. But I don't think all of that is actually happening. I make fun of him for stealing the horse. I don't think it's happening.
Wait a minute.
I think this...
Whoa. You think this is in Jack Kelly's head?
I think this is Jack Kelly's manifestation of Santa Fe.
No, fuck you.
I think that...
No.
Because, could you just hear me out? Just hear me out, all right?
No.
So he starts singing the song. He starts singing the song as he walks away from Davy's place, and the lighting is in a certain... It's a dark lighting palette.
Yeah.
Then, when he starts singing the song, a light comes, all the Western paraphernalia,
the
all
lights
that
from
shit.
The fucking trolley fires.
Just...
Okay, all right, okay.
Follow me very quickly.
Strike fires. Strike wagon fires.
So, all of this light, orange, horses, hay, ropes, lasso, all that shit, while he's singing about Santa Fe and, he can't wait to get there. And then at the end, he hits the horse on the ass to run away, and then it's totally dark again. So I think there's an argument to be made that Kenny Ortega orchestrated this sort of fever dream of Christian Bale, that this is what he can't wait to get to.
Okay. All right. I have 2 points to make here. The first point is that if this song alone was going to be a Santa Fe fever dream of Jack Kelly in this movie, produced by Disney, choreographed and directed by Kenny Ortega, we would have gotten wavy lined, like flat, and then he would have been in front of a fucking matte painting of a cactus. That's true.
Are you saying that Kenneth Ortega has the directing quality of like an episode of Perfect Strangers?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that Kenneth Ortega does not have the insight that you just displayed for like the idea that he manifested several props. No. And if what you're saying is true, because of the unrealistic nature of the Santa Fe Western props, then this entire fucking movie is a Jack Kelly fever dream. The entire thing.
We can have that conversation.
No, wait. Because and that's false, because there's no way that in Jack Kelly's wildest imagination that this is his dance and this is his singing. There's no way. If this is a Jack Kelly fever dream, he can at least hold his own and not get stepped on, literally stepped on by professional dancers, because he can't lumber across the ground fast enough to get out of their fucking way. Period. The end.
You made some good points.
Let's talk about hat continuity.
Yes. We need to talk about his general aesthetic and this fucking dance. Because can you tell me how Kenny Ortega went from choreographing like real shit to, okay, Christian, do this. And he's just kind of doing, it's basically...
That is all he can do. It's jump left and right.
He's just doing like cheerleading arms.
Yes. It's like that moment in The Cutting Edge where they're just face forward, gliding across the ice, looking at each other with one flexed arm and one arm out straight. Can you see me right now? It's that.
Of course I can.
It's that moment. Because that's all they can do. That's all D.B. Sweeney had.
That's a great move.
Imagine it.
First of all,
imagine it in real life. Just two ice skaters. Both feet on the ice. I still
can't figure out how two ice skaters haven't done that program just for fun.
It's physically impossible. All you see is arms. How would you know? Anyway.
That's fair.
That's all he can do. That's why this dance is so stupid, because that's all... Imagine being a choreographer. We need a solo Western dance for Christian Bale, who doesn't want to be here and doesn't give a shit and can't dance. Will and can do. What else can you do except for jump back and forth, kick, shuffle.
My favorite part, though, is that I agree with you. It's the dumbest dance I've ever seen on a movie. And I've seen From Justin to Kelly many, many times.
When are we going to do that?
Oh, I can't wait. I
can't wait to do that.
Oh, my God. Brandon's rap is on.
All right.
But I can't skip it. Like, there's parts of this movie. I don't skip this movie, but, like, if I'm doing something else, I will go back. I have to watch it.
I love it. Yeah. I love every moment of it. It's so stupid.
In its absurdity, it is fucking perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about it.
Oh my God. We really missed an opportunity here, by the way, to have one of us spend an inordinate amount of money to visit the other so that this could have been like a live watch party episode.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Next time, guys. Next time.
All right. We're back with Pulitzer. This is where
we're at the Pulitzer Screw the Kids meeting.
All right. Yes. Okay. We've already talked about this pretty much.
We've talked about that. We got that.
So now the Newsies, they're finding out they jacked up the prices.
They go to buy their papes.
They're pissed.
From Mr. Wiesel.
Mr. Weasel. And
that guy also bringing it.
He is. I'm surprised you don't know that guy's name. I don't.
I'm not saying that I don't. It's Mr. Wiesel.
All right. Okay.
But so they get to the strike awfully quickly here. They get to the strike idea.
Do they get to the strike? I have some theories here.
Okay. Hit me.
The movie, one of the main plot points of this movie is that Jack Kelly is not the brains of the operation. He's the charisma of the operation. And Davey is the smart one. That he's feeding Jack Kelly lines. Because at the end, when he's like, these were my words. You were just saying them. And Davey didn't have the guts to do it, No. You watch this scene. Jack Kelly thinks of having a strike. Jack Kelly thinks of having a union. Jack Kelly thinks of beating up the scabbers. The only thing Davey does is say, we shouldn't beat up the scabs. That's the only thing that happens. He thinks of having the ambassadors. He just doesn't know the words.
Yeah, Davey is not the smart kid. He's the thesaurus.
Yeah, that's all he is. He thinks of the word ambassadors. That's all he does. Ambassadors.
Yes, I totally agree with that. See, I'm on team hate fucking Davey.
Later on, sorry, what I heard was hate fucking Davey and not hate fucking Davey, and it made me laugh. Later on,
yeah, it's definitely not that first one.
Sorry. Jack Kelly thinks of the rally. He thinks of printing the newspaper for the sweatshop kid. He thinks of the sweatshop kids. Like, he thinks of literally everything in this strike.
Because this is, like, Davey just shows off his little middle class, like, comfortable privilege. Yeah. And, like, I'll just take credit for all of this. No problem. It was me. Like, even when he talks to Denton, when we finally meet Denton, he's kind of standing on the outside going, yeah, I'm not really involved in any of this. This is just, I'll just explain to you what these people did.
But he gives him his name.
And then
he gives him his name.
Oh, 100%.
David. As in David and Goliath. Well, he wants that glory.
Oh, when he's asked, are you like the leader or whatever? He's like, what's your name? Oh, yeah, no problem. I won't say that Jack's the leader. But when Jack is saying, Davey, you need, it's like, no, Jack, you're the leader.
Yeah.
When it's time to do shit.
And Jack thinks of this so quickly, I think because he wants to murder people.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. Because remember, Davey says we can't beat up scabbers, but it takes a few scabber ass kickings for that to actually make it through.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jack's like, no, I'm getting my asses. That's happening.
We're going to soak them like the trolley strike. I want to set people on fire.
I want to have a strike because it's my understanding that I can then legally beat the shit out of people. Is that what strikes are?
Yes, then I want that. I want a union so that I can do that. So then we've got The World Will Know. Great song.
Oh my God, so good.
Bill and Joe.
They may own the world, but they don't own us.
The Delancey's come out swinging. What the fuck is that line? It comes out of nowhere.
The Delancey's get a lot of credit
for doing
in this
nothing.
particular movie for being two like street thugs.
Yeah, I love that they already know that they're not going to be for the strike. Like they know they're on the other side. The Delancey's for sure.
It's like they work for Wiesel and the world, and it's like Okay, but why are you worried about those two kids who are basically handing papers to you in the morning? That's all they're doing.
Powerful man/company in New York City.
Yeah, they're acting like this is the toughest private security organization that exists.
But more importantly, do you think that line, what if the Delancey's come out swinging? Do you think that was dubbed after? Like, what do you think is the problem with that line? Why do you think it sounds like a whole different fucking person in a different room? That one line.
Well, I don't think it's dubbed. I think it's because all the kids went through accent work. Mm-hmm. And I just think that different kids had different takes on their accent.
That is a Jack Kelly line. The Delancey's one.
That's a Jack Kelly line?
Yes.
Oh, then it was definitely dubbed.
Yeah, because it's like, was circulation bell starts ringing. It's one of those.
I thought it was race, because it sounded like
That's
race.
What I'm saying. It's right when he jumps off the statue. I hope I'm right on this, but I'm like 80% sure that's a Jack Kelly line. I think it's right when he jumps off the statue thing and starts kind of walking through the crowd.
Yeah, you're right. No, it was probably dubbed
right.
then.
I'm gonna go back and watch.
I also don't understand the line, and Alan Menken has like 900 Oscars, so I'm not going to doubt his ability to write a song, but what if the Delanceys come out swinging? Will we hear them?
No!
Or is it will we? Yeah.
Sorry, it was an instinct.
Hear the punches?
Well, if you remember when we used to sing this, you did those lines.
Oh my God,
I did
yes.
the answers.
Oh, absolutely. And I also love there's a musical sort of transition in this where they like, I don't know, hit it with an oboe or some shit. And I'm just like, that part's awesome. And I remember if I wasn't satisfied that everybody in the car had listened to it, I will take it back. Everyone shut up. Listen to this.
No, I mean, these aren't perfect songs. I have some problems with Seize the Day as well. So I'm not.
What the fuck?
Father to son. What does it mean?
It doesn't matter what it means. It's provocative.
Neighbor to neighbor, father to son. We're all children. Who was the father in this scenario? I know we hold up less at one point, but he's not that much younger than you guys. What does it mean?
It seems to me that you may be trying to get too deep into...
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Analyzing the grammar of what if the Delanceys come out swinging?
That's fair. I take it back.
Yeah.
I take it back.
All right. Okay.
We'll get to Seize the Day. I'm not accepting problems with Seize the Day.
Bill Pullman just milling around in the crowd. What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's happening?
This is how journalists do their work.
I'm a newspaper man.
They just walk around town.
Just walk around town and see what's going on.
I work for the Sun. I'm the ace war correspondent.
What's an important story? No, we're not doing this then. We're doing it later. Okay. So now...
Oh, yeah, we're doing it. Don't worry, we're doing it.
Okay, so now we got to get in Bastard. We can't just have the whatever borough we're in, Newsies. We need to have all the different islands and neighborhoods of New York. So we're gonna go out to all the different places, get all the Newsies on board, everywhere except Brooklyn, Spot Collins territory.
Spot Collins territory.
I don't mind going to Brooklyn.
Now,
Spot Collins makes me a little nervous.
Now, because Jack is a psychopath.
Yes.
Because Kid Blink is a psychopath.
Kid Blink is 100, and the real Kid Blink in real life was also a psychopath. That is based on a real character.
Yes. That's the only that's the only person in this movie that's real. That's what I love about the inspired by actual events. There was a strike and Kid Blink existed. The rest of this, that's all Kenny Ortega, okay? But they're like, come on, who doesn't want to go to Brooklyn? Why are you scared of Brooklyn? Come on, Spot Collins territory? And like, even Jack doesn't seem like, yo, I'll go to Brooklyn right away. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this dude must be a maniac.
Yeah.
A fucking terror.
Spot Conlon, he is.
So when they get to Brooklyn, well, I guess we can't get there yet. We don't quite get to Brooklyn.
No, not yet.
But so anyway, they give us this boogeyman in Spot Conlon.
But I think this is on purpose. I think the setup is on purpose.
I agree with you.
It's not like
but then,
Disney couldn't go find a big guy. They could.
I know, but what I don't understand is then they like follow through with like, no, Spot really is scary as hell.
They wanted a tiny, creepy motherfucker. Like, That's what they wanted.
But then they give him a goddamn slingshot.
Yeah.
What are we
And
doing?
a fucking pimp cane.
Pimp
Apparently
cane.
we are doing this now. Man.
Yeah, sorry. We couldn't hold it in any longer.
A golden pimp cane.
The pimp cane is dope.
Wait, there is a moment
that is
where
awesome.
Spot Conlon whips out that pimp cane. Like, it's in the finale of the film.
Where he's going to fence with it.
Where like...
And then he turns it over.
Like adult, like, thugs with clubs that Pulitzer has paid Mr. Wiesel to go, like, round up. He looks like a fucking badass when that 3-foot-tall child whips out that pimp cane to fucking murder some people. He looks cool as hell.
And somehow he's smaller in the musical.
Yeah? Good. He's supposed to be like
he's
a tiny
jacked.
little, like, fucking creepy, like...
He's super small, but jacked. But yeah, I do love the joke, and I do love the setup, but I'm just honestly thinking in, like, the simpleton brain of Jack, is he really going to be scared of Spot Conlon?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
The answer is yes, Cole. Okay, all right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
I stand by this because he's creepy. He's wily. He's unpredictable. He's a loose cannon. You don't know what he's gonna do.
He's got the eyes.
He does. He has those
it's all right here.
Blue eyes see right through you. And may I say, a little bit hot. A little bit hot, Spot Conlon.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
If you're a preteen girl and you want the power, just the sheer power of Spot Conlon, you're gonna be attracted to it.
The sheer power
the influence,
of Spot Conlon. Sure.
All these other boys,
Sure.
they're scared of Spot Conlon. You want to be his girl. I'm not wrong.
All right.
I'm not. We're going to hear about this. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to take some shit on this one.
I feel weird saying this as a 33-year-old woman because the actor who plays Spot Conlon is 16 in this film, unlike Christian Bale was.
He is definitely underage.
Christian Bale was like 20, I think, maybe, when he did this.
It was 18. He was 18.
But Spot is 16. So I'm not saying that child is a hot child. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you were also a child, you might be into it. That's all I'm saying. And I was a child, and I was into it. That's what I'm saying. Jack Kelly, Spot Conlon, not Davey, not into it.
No Davey, huh?
No Davey. If you are out there and you had a crush on Davey, I'd like to hear from you.
Well, you're probably watching the wrong movie.
We're not going to get any emails. I can tell you that because Davey is not.
So I'm not going to get shit for my I hate Davey takes. That's good. I was afraid I was going to piss people off.
Davey. No one likes him.
Fucking hate that guy.
Hate that guy. All right. So then we have a meeting with Denton, our man Denton, the newspaper man. And they're like, he's gonna write an article about the Newsies. The best part of this scene is when they say, "Are we important enough?" And Denton leans back and he says, "What's important? I mean, last year I was a war correspondent. I charged up San Juan Hill with Teddy Roosevelt. Is that important? I don't know." It's like, what? Why are you bragging to these kids about some fucking war they probably never even knew was going on? Well, I don't know. They read the newspapers, I guess. But, like, why are you bragging to these kids about your job? Like,
well, and what I love is the answer to a bunch of children who he knows are being exploited for
100%
everything is, yes, this is important. We need to make sure people know about it. Not, well, sons of bitches, I'm the one who decides what's important.
Yeah.
And if you impress me, then I will decide that you are important. It was very awkward.
What do you bet everyone at the New York Sun hates Denton?
Oh, God, yes.
He just walks around the street looking for stories. They're like,
Denton's
there's shit
uncle
to do
is like
at the
editor.
office, man. Like, we've given you an assignment. Why are you roaming the streets trying to find street urchins to write about?
Yes. No, his uncle is definitely like the president or the editor or something.
Yeah. They've given him an assignment. He didn't like it. So he's like roaming the streets looking for something better. Looking for a war to start. Hoping.
And by the way, the very last line of that scene was Jack looking back at Denton and being like, "No pictures."
Yeah. Yeah.
What does Denton bring to the next thing?
A camera.
Like a 400-pound camera.
What? This isn't Denton's fault. This is Jack Kelly's fault. Because what does Jack Kelly do? is put his arms around his comrades and smile for that camera. So, like...
No, that's true. That's
this
correct.
Denton's fault, or is this Jack Kelly's fault?
I don't think there's necessarily a fault. I just think it's funny where Den's like, no problem, no pictures. I mean, I'm going to have a gigantic fucking camera that I somehow can carry.
I mean, he's kind of a slime ball, Denton.
Oh, he's totally a slime ball.
Yeah.
He's using them in a different way than Anne Margaret's using them, but everyone's using these kids.
Okay.
But now we get to Brooklyn.
Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry.
What?
Jack Kelly in this scene with Denton is eating a hamburger. The hamburger was not popularized in the United States until the World's Fair of 1904. So
that's the kind of research we come here for.
Accurate.
That is.
Do you like that?
Wow. Just out of curiosity, what prompted you to either look that up or what were you reading?
I was watching it this morning. I saw he was eating a hamburger. It's like a really like modern looking hamburger. And I was just like, I don't know. It just stuck out to me. I was like, I wonder when hamburgers happen. So I gave it a goog.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Anytime.
I'm not going to lie. I missed that one. I was not paying attention to what he was eating. I was more paying attention to Christian Bale's like, so are you scared? Oh, yeah, look at me. I'm shaking over here. How have we not done this entire podcast in accents, by the way? I'm disappointed in us to a certain
We can start
degree.
now. I don't think anyone will listen. All right, here we are. Spot Conlon. We're in Brooklyn. You know how I know we're in Brooklyn? Irish flutes. That's how I know we're in Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn more Irish than the rest of New York City?
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but I've never heard that. I've never been like, oh, God, you going to Brooklyn? All the Irish are over there.
Wherever the fuck these newsboys already hang out, I don't know. Where are they already? Like, where's Pulitzer's like place? Like, where are our core newsies at? Do you know?
I have a more important question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're spread out. Like all the core newsies are going to the different boroughs asking for
but like where are they? Like, so they're going to the different boroughs. Where's the borough where we like start out? Like, where's the newsboys lodge area?
Manhattan.
Okay. But, like, all those newsboys in Manhattan, they seem pretty Irish. Like, we've got Jack Kelly.
Yes.
His real name's Francis Sullivan. Like, I feel like we don't need extra Irish flutes to tell us we're in Brooklyn. It's very weird.
But one question I have is, papes come out every day.
Yeah.
What are Spot Conlon's newsies? He's running a swim club.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here? It's the middle of the day.
Spot, I don't know. I was going to try to think of something, but I don't know.
Just kids are swimming, Spot's looking at his group. I don't know, what is he? I guess he's the leader just like, of just the Brooklyn kids or like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
know if he's... I don't know if his power has more like reach.
They're not working. Was it kind of the end of the day maybe? Like maybe it was like late afternoon when they got out there to Brooklyn? That could be it. Papes sell in the morning.
Could be it.
I don't know. By the end of the day, that's old news. Maybe
look at you. Look at what you just did.
Literally.
Oh,
old news.
Professional.
Yeah, that's a joke.
So we did cover, though, like, Spot and the Pimp Cane, which is epic. And, hey, got a couple of nice shooters here for you. Okay, sweet slingshot, like guns exist. I would expect this little kid to have a gun at this point.
He's the most famous newsie in all of New York City.
I love the conceit that there are famous newsies.
Yeah.
Are there guys out there in Brooklyn that are like, oh, I buy my paper? I buy my paper from Spot Conlon.
I don't think there are famous newsies, but I think Spot Conlon wants to be one. And then when Davey says that, he's like, famous newsie? Why, I guess I am.
But how many times does Spot, who, by the way, we have a mush problem here with Spot. Well, he's not good, is the problem.
Oh, he's bad at acting?
Yes. Yeah.
No, he's great. He knows what movie he's in.
How many times does he say Jackie Boy?
Oh, and every time it is music to my ears. He's perfect.
He's Jackie Boy.
He's Jackie
Boy. The boys.
They're chipping in my ear. Jackie Boy.
They said Jackie Boy's newsies are doing Jackie Boy things. And now Jackie Boy's coming to me and Jackie Boy's asking me, Spot Conlon, if Jackie Boy can get my support.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we just...
tone it down?
Slow down on the Jackie
Do you
Boys.
think
just a little bit.
The actor who played Spot Conlon, do you think he had a choice in the matter? Or do you think he did the best he could with the material he was given?
I think if you're a thespian,
Mm-hmm.
then you should be able to take control of your role and make it your own. He could have made those decisions.
No. I think his acting in this film was flawless. Now, you want to talk about Sarah? We can talk about Sarah. But I'm
Why are you going after Sarah? Why are you going after my girl Sarah?
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not going to like that. I'm not going to like it.
Next scene, they come back. The negotiation with Spot Conlon has gone medium. But the note I have for the scene right before we start Seize the Day is, every child in this scene has a cigarette, and they look so cool. This would never happen in 2019, but damn, do those smoking children look so cool in this
The
scene.
one who looks the most uncomfortable is Christian Bale when he's smoking.
100%. You know who looks real comfortable?
Kid Blink.
Kid Blink.
Kid Blink.
Kid Blink rolls one at one point in this movie.
Yeah, he's not his first time.
Also, you know who also looks very comfortable? Max Casella with that cigar.
Well, again, because he's almost a grandpa.
Years old, smokes cigars on the regular in his real life.
I feel like Kid Blink somehow got his role over Brad Renfro. I feel like that role was made for Brad Renfro.
Hard agree. Oh, man. I think Bill Pullman got his role over Emilio Estevez. Do you think
also true?
That's a possibility.
Emilio would have been a good... Oh, now I want to see this movie with Emilio today.
You've got this look on your face like you've got to figure out how to make this happen.
I'm
telling
picturing
you, Cole,
it.
It's not going to happen.
I'm just thinking slick back haired Emilio, like D2 when he's at the party, carrying around, trying. I'm sorry, I'm working it out.
No,
anyway,
it would have been great. Like I was watching this movie this morning, thinking, what if Mush had played Jack Kelly? It wouldn't have been the same movie. Like.
No.
Almost all of these were like, if they had a big kid play Spot, if they had like all these different things, this movie is nearly perfectly cast with the children.
100% agree.
Any actor of that age could have played Denton. Any.
Yes.
Any.
That's why it was Bill Pullman. That's 100% why it was Bill Pullman, because he hadn't done shit in 5 years. We gotta get a
Pullman or a Paxton in here.
Yeah,
Stat.
And Paxton was like, do you understand? I'm Bill Paxton. They're like, okay, give me the next bill.
Next one down.
What are we, in the P's now? We've gone to the P's and we can't get anybody? After Paxton, Pullman. Pullman will do it. Fucking Pullman will do it.
Man. Okay. All right, where are we? We're at Seize the Day. All right.
Yes, we are.
Davey starts walking around. Open the gates. And seize the day. I'm going to walk right through the sword fight. Don't be afraid and don't delay. And man, it just catches. It just catches on.
Oh,
He's got his little tune singing. And it just builds.
And then all of them are like, I got to be a part of this right now.
You know who's also a terrible dancer? Davey.
Yeah, well, he has one move, and I'm gonna do it for you right now.
I'm going to describe it.
It's this.
Cole's backing up from the table. He's taking off his headphones. He's standing.
What's that?
He fisted his hands at about armpit level, and then he opened his hands and then shot them up into the air as if he was saying, "Rise and seize the day." Is that the movie?
So you know the part.
I do know what you're referring to.
He does that like 6 times.
Yeah.
He just keeps running around and...
He's doing it again. It's hilarious. It's good stuff.
Like, again, Kenny, and I think you learned this because you've made a ton of money on movies like this, High School Musicals being most of them. If you have a kid who can't dance,
don't put him in front.
Just put him over there singing, or like just stand him in one spot and let Max Casella do his tap dancing.
He's good. He's good.
He's
Max
very
Casella
good
at the tap
he's
dance.
Very
he's
good.
Good at everything he's doing. Why can't... So the beginning of this song, we've got Davey just kind of walking around, weaving in and out of Newsies, reacting to each of them, singing to each of them. Why can't he just keep doing that?
Keep doing that. Not try to like jump in front, because there's actual dance set pieces happening where he just jumps in front of his like...
Rise! Now is the time to seize it.
And it's almost like he waves at the camera like, I'm here. Okay.
that time where he jumps in and goes, "No," is the time is really like that. That's
there
exactly
is
what
one
you
time
described.
where it's like screen left and he jumps in and then he just leaves.
It's true.
And I'm sorry if the audio sucks because I'm moving backwards and forwards, but
Yeah, they don't care.
Whatever.
Racetrack on the harmonica. We got Bill Pullman just meandering around watching boys dance. It's very weird.
Did you notice the whole crowd that was forming?
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of like adults that are like, man,
These kids can dance.
this is pretty fucking great.
And Pullman's like walking around that crowd. Like you can see his little like bowler
Yeah.
hat just kind of bobbing around in there. But again, father to son, weird line, Mencken. Weird line.
Nope, it's perfect. Nope.
All right.
I'll tell you what. Could you help me out real quick and hold up your Oscar for songwriting for me real quick?
I'm sorry, I don't have that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good call then. Yeah. It's Alan's problem. All right.
I mean, a lot of people in this movie have Oscars. Weirdly.
Much doesn't.
No. Which, you know what? Should you know what? I vote.
Really?
I vote
Really? He
for
should.
him.
He should.
Yeah.
Aaron Lord should have an Oscar.
Sure. Should.
Got it.
And the best actors in this movie are not the ones that have Oscars in their houses. Like not necessarily like in this movie. I'm saying the best
Yes.
actors in this movie are not
Yes.
the ones that have Oscars, because Robert
And
Duvall
Casella-
is doing something crazy in this movie.
This is Robert Duvall's Heat moment. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Heat, but Al Pacino's performance in Heat is fucking insane.
This is Robert Duvall's Heat. Al
It is.
Pacino has Heat. Robert Duvall has Disney's Newsies.
Yep.
Hot take. Hot take. All right. Okay, so we've got the circulation bell. It's rain. We hunker down and wait for
But here's the question: did they hear it?
No. We're hunkered down. We're waiting for the wagon to come out. Immediately disperse when the wagon comes out.
Yeah.
But then they come back in and they get in this fight with the Scabbas.
The Scabbas.
Then they're tearing up all the newspapers so that no one can sell them. Great idea.
Love it.
Crutchy makes
Love
a
it.
choice here.
Can we please talk about... Okay, hold on. We do
never
not
talked
make
about
these
this.
notes together.
We've never talked about this.
And I just want to prove it to Erin.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can read... Well, I know you can read, but I don't know if you can see where it says Crutchy is deliriously happy.
It says Crutchy is just delirious with joy as he's ripping up papers. I don't know if you can read what I have, but mine says Crutchy makes a choice.
No, it's capital choice. Yes. He's just like, this is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. Oh my God.
He's literally cross-eyed with joy as he rips up these newspapers.
He is
Maniacal.
Davey when he walks out of Meta's brothel. It is that sort of just. It was like he just discovered like popping like bubble wrap or something, where he was like, "Holy shit! Have you guys ever ripped these? It's incredible." I've been reading them all this time. I've been carrying around and selling them when all I want to do is rip them.
This poor kid. The kid who plays Crutchy does a pretty good job in this movie playing a ridiculous character.
Yes, and other than that scene, it's kind of as straight as you can do it. But that is,
I have a feeling they were
insane.
like, just go as insane as you guys can. You're all going to be in the background. There's going to be no close shots of any of you. So just do whatever the fuck you want. It's just going to be papers flying around. And this kid was like, all right, I'm going to act the craziest I've ever acted in my life, not knowing that there would be a close-up shot of it, just being like, oh, it's great. And then they fucking leave him. So that the guys from the refuge and the Pulitzer guys come in to arrest all these kids. They fucking leave Crutchy.
Well, and what I love is Jack through this whole movie is like taking a special interest in Crutchy.
Yeah, we gotta take care of
He's
Crutchy.
like, I gotta take care of Crutchy. And then in this entire thing, he doesn't think, I should see where Crutchy's at.
No.
And then he has the fucking audacity to be like, where's Crutchy? Well, I don't think he ran away, Jack. I think there's a chance that your friend got caught thanks to you.
running away without him. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Crutchy will make it. It's okay.
Yeah.
He's good.
Well, they immediately go. We already talked about how ridiculous it is when they break into the refuge here.
Yes.
But Davy lowers Jack on a rope.
Yes.
Without any kind, like, are we to believe that he's holding the weight of Jack Kelly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, did you get a load of that knot they tied? Insane.
Yes. Yes.
Expert.
It's
knotsmanship.
Yeah, well done. I do have a plan issue, though.
Yeah.
Crutchy is not well fed, I understand.
Yeah.
But Jack is just hanging outside the bars like, what, are you going to jump through the bars? You can't fit through the bars. How are we going to get him out? What's the point?
No, that's just the communication. He's going to have Crutchy sneak somewhere, and they're going to meet him somewhere. That's what I got. This is just the means to get him the message.
Feels like there were safer ways to do that, like dangle a letter down there.
Well, it's like you can sure, yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. But would they notice a letter dangling down there? And
also
could it fall into the hands of the wrong kid or the wrong Snyder? You know?
Oh, see, Snyder.
So he's going to go in there and he's going to be like, hey, this is also crazy. He's like, hey, did like a crip come in here? Did a kid?
Yeah, right.
Did a crippled kid come in here with a crutch? And then the kid who's at the window was like, hey, Jackie boy, TR and everything. You rode out on the carriage. You got it. And then he goes, oh, the gimp?
The gimp. Yeah, not great.
But then Jack Kelly, who's been calling Crutchy a crip this entire movie, goes, I don't know about a gimp. He's pissed.
Yeah, right.
Under his breath, he's like, a gimp? And it's like,
yeah.
You've named the kid Crutchy.
Yeah.
It's his whole personality, is that he's a crippled child. You call him Crip for short. You're mad at this kid for calling him a gimp?
This guy? You're the reason he's in jail, Jack.
Yeah, you're the one who forgot to go get him. Anyway, Crutchy doesn't want to break out of jail. He's not walking so good. They worked him over.
All right, so we go from the break you out, not break you out at the refuge to Pulitzer's office, where now Joe getting crazier, doing more coke.
Kids have one over on me. What am I going to do?
Kids keep fucking me over here. And so finally he looks at, and I think Weisel is in the meeting at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't give a shit what you have to fucking do. You end it. I don't care what happens.
Weisel's like, if you give me the means, I will take care of this.
I will murder
the children.
The streets will run red with Newsy blood. If you give me the money, I can make this happen.
And he's like, sure, yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah, I love it. Do whatever you gotta do. And Sykes is again in the corner like, gee whiz, boss. I don't know.
This is the part where he's like, shut your mouth, Sykes. This is that part.
And then Sykes goes like this. All right.
So then the next scene is like all of these adults coming out with clubs to go like round up and murder the Newsies.
Well, and you're skipping the part where it fades into the Seize the Day like remix.
Yes. You're right. Sorry.
And the kids are like, we got pots and pans now, so don't fuck with us.
Yeah, you got like the drums with the coffee cans now, kid.
Yeah, and the kid made like the harness for it.
Yeah, he's like a street performer.
Yeah.
Now is the time to. It's good stuff.
And then they kind of run the Trojan horse on them because they have nobody's getting by us.
No.
And then they come out, and then they run in, and then they shut the gates.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, hell of a plan there, Wiseau.
The best part in this, though, is when Brooklyn shows up for this fight, where they're already like in the. Well, first of all, Davy's like, let's everybody remain calm. And then Jack Kelly's like, let's soak him for Crutchy. And then they all start fighting. And then Brooklyn comes in from like behind things. Did you notice how Brooklyn like just pops up from like behind walls and it's like, boom, boom.
That's Brooklyn's move though. Brooklyn's move is like, I don't want to be first through the wall. No need to get in too much danger. Then when everything's going on, we can assist.
It's very choreographed with music. They just pop up, like their heads pop up. Boom, 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 boom. And then they run in. And then it's Spot Conlon with his pimp cane. He's ready. Oh, this is where he whips it out, I think.
Yeah, well, because they start out with some slingshot stuff. And there's like bullets whizzing through everything. And then when they run out of shooters, they go down, and that's where the pimp cane comes in. Because this is where all the kids, basically getting their asses kicked.
I have Spot spins around and whips out his pimp cane. It's pretty hot. That was my note.
That was not my note.
Fair enough.
On this fight. I do have Brooklyn saves the day.
Yeah.
And then I moved on.
Yeah, okay.
There was nothing terribly aesthetically pleasing to me.
Fair enough. Denton knew that this fight was going to happen. Got a hot tip. Brought his own 5-foot-tall camera and flash.
Yep.
So that he could take the victorious photo of the core Newsies once they had beaten up all of the adults.
Yep.
To put what I love is when the New York Sun.
The cops close the gate. He's like, "What are you're not going to stop this?" Mm-hmm. And the cop's like, "Get out of here." And Denton's like, "Okay.
Yeah, I will.
I'll wait. I'll wait. We'll see how this turns out."
I'm an opportunist. The headline can be Newsies victorious or cops murder children. It doesn't matter to me. Both headlines sell. Nope. I'm just standing here carrying a 300-pound camera and flashbulb, waiting for either to photograph the corpses of these children or them celebrating. Your call, guys.
I'm just trying to schedule my day.
That's a good journalist. He's not participating.
No need to insert yourself into the story.
No, you don't insert yourself into the story. All right. So now they're the kings of New York. They're in the bar.
Yes, they are.
They're on the cover of the New York Sun. Get your fingers off my face. They're on the cover of the newspapers. So you're in the pape. What's that get you?
What are you, stupid? Corduroy suit with fitted knickers and seat to see the flickers.
Let's talk about Kid Blink, Mayor's daughter, because he gives such a hip thrust. He tugs on the crotch of his pants. A Saturday night with the mayor's daughter, like really tugs on that. Does he know her? Does he just want the notoriety of fucking the mayor's daughter? Like, what is it?
Oh, yeah. No, Kid Blink is 100% the guy who's going to hunt for the mayor's daughter. Find her. Ideally, it's consensual.
Yes.
But he will then leave her and just walk around town going, bang the mayor's daughter, bang the mayor's daughter. Now, what's weird about it is, how many people do you think know who the mayor's daughter is?
Yeah, no one.
Like, what?
No one. It's probably
how do you know?
More street cred to have fucked Meta, which he has.
Oh, yeah. No, that is, 100%.
And I can say, from the female perspective, it would be consensual with the mayor's daughter. There's no way that the mayor's daughter is hanging out in her boring-ass life and Kid Blink comes up into her house with his eye patch. And she's like, "No, not today. Please, guards. No way.
So we've got Jack, Spot, and Kid Blink.
I'm a little bit into Kid Blink. He's a renegade.
They're all renegades.
No, not all of them.
These are all streetwalking. These are all streetwalking thieves that sell papers and do weird shit on the side.
Nope, Davy's not a renegade. Mush is not a renegade. I mean, he's got some nice abs, but I'm not into it.
But Mush is the AC Slater of this movie. Like, he acts tough, but I don't think he's that tough.
Exactly, and that's why I'm not into it. I'm not into it. Sorry.
Because he's not real. If you're going to come to Erin, you better be real and you better be hard, okay?
Probably get with Racetrack, too. I'm just being honest with you.
Just because of that hot tip on the 4th?
Well, here's the thing. I'm into real-life Max Casella is the problem.
I don't blame you.
He's so talented.
I do not blame you. Okay, so have you watched, like, all of Doogie Howser?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember in, like, the first or second episode where Doogie has to do surgery on his girlfriend?
And he shaves her!
No, what happens is, it's not, well, yes, but
Max Casella
Vin comes in and he's like... and I'm like...
We have to have talked about this before. There's no way you and I both have a completely separate, independent memory of it. We had to have watched that together or something.
Oh, I'm sure we did.
Or at least have talked about this episode.
Like $10 a season in college. I found them on DVD.
Then
so
I
sure
100% watched that with you. Yes.
But it was like,
did you get to shave her?
Hey, dude, did you get to shave her?
What the fuck?
Like, what? This was on like ABC.
Yeah. Appendectomy, I think, was the operation.
Yes, it was an appendectomy.
So no. I hope not.
So is that when Max Casella stole your heart?
Yes. No,
Understandable.
It was when he was playing the harmonica and Seize the Day.
Understood.
Oh, man. Okay, all right. You know who else is coming in strong as mush? He does this move where he jumps from the floor to the table and straddles the table. Did you see that?
Yes.
Insane. That's an insane
move.
No,
he is, Mush is doing flips and shit through this whole movie.
This is the most impressive one. He jumps 5 feet into the air to straddle 2 tables. It's nuts.
Totally agree.
Go back and watch for this specific movie. I rewound it like 4 times this morning.
Yeah, watch this movie for the choreography. Now, before we move on from Kings of New York, is this where you get to the point in the movie where I'm like, all right, this is where I get a little antsy in the movie. I don't want anything cut out.
You have a pacing issue with Newsies? Fuck you. This is a perfectly paced film.
I agree, but the problem is there's too much time between King of New York.
Arc, but if you skip it, it's a perfectly paced.
My problem is there's too much time between Kings of New York and the next song kids sing, where we do Once and For All.
Mm-hmm.
The only song I get in between that is Meta, and I don't appreciate it.
Oh, I see. Okay, here's the problem with here's the difference between you and me is between this song and the next song we get the romance part, which helps me a lot.
Yes, the romance.
The romance part.
I love romance. Don't get me wrong.
No, we can't. We have to talk about Crutchy and Snyder first.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Crutchy's bringing Snyder his dinner, and he says, "Look at that newspaper. That's Jack Kelly, my best friend. He looks just like himself."
This is when I'm out on Crutchy. I'm like, how stupid.
Well, also, you're going to pick out Jack Kelly, not all of your friends? That's all of my friends. No, that's Jack Kelly. The one that escaped from here that you're always looking for. That's Jack Kelly. He looks just like himself.
Yeah, he's told me that story a million times. Teddy Roosevelt made you look like a piece of shit, right? Okay, that's him.
I know him personally. We know each other really well. I could tell you his whereabouts.
He'll tell me anything. He'll tell me anything. Yeah, I can just walk right up to him. He won't suspect a thing. I swear to God.
All right, here's my question. Snyder asks Crutchy where Jack Kelly lives. Then Crutchy's like, ugh. And then he's packing up the dinner. And then Snyder just gently places the newspaper in front of Crutchy again. As if to subliminally. What's that? That's so weird, first of all. I wish you guys could see Cole do the maneuver. It's very funny. What happens here? Because Crutchy doesn't tell Snyder in this scene where Jack lives or what he's up to. Or, he does not actually give any information to Snyder that Snyder doesn't already have. By either
I think it's just implied
newspaper.
that he tells him.
Do you think he just tells him? Do you think he bribes him? Do you think he tortures him? What do you think happens here?
I think it's torture. I think it's...
He's going to beat him up?
I will hurt you.
I think
because
so,
he's
too.
already been worked over, and I think it's 100% physical intimidation, and Crutchy gives up the boarding house. Although, how shitty at law enforcement are you that you don't know where the Newsies boarding house for the Newsies who sell the paper The World is?
You know this kid is a newsie because you saw him selling newspapers at the boxing ring. You know that every day where the newspapers are sold, they pick them up there. You don't even have to know the boarding house. You just have to hang out outside The World where they pick up their newspapers.
Yeah, all he had to do to catch Jack Kelly in a day was see him at the bowling or at the boxing match. Oh, he's selling papers. Cool. Go to somebody and say, hey, I need you to buy a paper from that kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That kid brings back a paper. Oh, it's The World. I'll go to where The World hands out their newspapers in the morning.
And you're surprised that Crutchy, the kid you arrested while ripping up newspapers maniacally as part of the Newsies strike, has any intel on where this guy might be or hang out? Anyway, I think what's on the cutting room floor is...
The crutching room floor, I love it.
Is them, like, beating the shit out of Crutchy to get this information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I thought. That's in your R-rated version, probably.
Oh, that's 30, 40 minutes of it.
I mean, sometime in our lifetime, they are going to make a dark Newsies. It's inevitable.
I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for it.
Me neither.
The problem is, like, I wanted to ask you about casting, but since I don't know when it's going to be, I don't even want to get into it.
I don't know enough child actors to be able to even tell you.
How many child actors were really in this movie?
Spot Conlon.
Just, like, this movie has Timothée Chalamet and fucking Lucas Hodges.
If I get a Timothée Chalamet Jack Kelly, I swear to God, murder. Like, I will turn these streets red with blood if they cast Timothée fucking Chalamet as Laurie and as Jack Kelly. I sweir to God.
The dark news. We got to make that happen. You got to get on this.
You know what?
That's on you.
Maybe that's Chalamet's thing. Is like they're like, we need a douchey Christian Bale type. Let's get.
Well, no, Chalamet would be Spot.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Tiny, wee, crazy eyes.
You're out of your fucking mind right now.
Okay, not a Chalamet fan. Got it.
He's fine. He's fine enough to play the douchebags he's played. Okay.
But not good enough to be in the Newsies remake. Got it.
Well, Spot Conlon has a certain charisma and, like, intimidation You need the intimidation. Imagine Timothée Chalamet whipping...
I'm scared already.
Whipping that pimp cane out of his pants and going...
I feel like he would accidentally hit himself in the face with it.
Yeah. I have to believe that this person will murder and maybe has murdered. That's what I have to believe.
Maybe has murdered?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Spot Conlon has murdered.
All right. Speaking of falling in love with people who have murdered, let's talk about this romance. The matte painting that happens in this rooftop scene is excellent and may have been more costly than setting fire to that carriage for the trolley strike. I don't know. It's a good matte. Yeah.
It is a very good matte. Honestly, for this type of movie, I think the sets and the set pieces are really
incredible. And the costumes are good. Everything's good.
Everything's good.
There are people who believe that there's a little too much rouge on Christian Bale. I do not believe that. I think that he is perfectly rouged in this film. All of them. They're great. The makeup, the costumes, the sets, the props, perfect.
Allow me to ask a romance question, though.
Yes.
What is Sarah's pull to Jack?
She is the one girl that he's seen that isn't disgusting.
Well, no. I understand Jack's pull to Sarah.
Oh.
What is Sarah's pull to Jack?
Are you crazy?
So just Christian Bale just being psychotically hot.
I'm sorry. Your older brother's psychotic friend? who's like fucking homeless and will kill anyone he looks at and has an army of kids that follow him around that just fucking idolize him for no reason, has fucked a 51-year-old woman. Like, how many things do I have to I am floored by this. And your dad likes him? Like,
okay, all right. You're right. I fucked that up. That's a bad question on my part.
Like, I can't think of a flaw. Besides, like, maybe he's smelly. I don't know.
Oh, the smell in this movie's got to be just brutal.
I think but you know when the smell hits peak for Jack Kelly is when he starts wearing those wool suits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't notice a shower in the basement of the world there where he was sleeping.
Well, and they go strong on the hair grease. Uh-huh. It does not appear that he has showered in a bit. Because all he does is wake up in the morning and shave for no reason. He does not hopping in the bath.
But again, the greasy hair is part of it. And he's going places. He's going to fucking Santa Fe. You're going to go be a ranch wife or whatever. Horses.
That is the dream.
Yeah. You don't even know this guy's real name. He's so hot. I waited until Cole drank coffee.
Jesus Christ. For the record, that's French vanilla black tea.
Oh, sorry.
But,
wow. What is her pull to Jack? Why would she like Jack Kelly? Because she hasn't seen Spot Conlon yet is the answer to that question. It is psychotic that you asked me this.
In the R-rated version, is there some sort of menage with Spot and Jack?
The R-rated version, I can find that story right now. Give me 20 seconds and I can find that story on the internet for you.
Because I would have liked more Sarah in this movie, honestly.
Oof.
More Sarah, less meta.
Yeah.
That being said, perfect film.
Yeah.
I don't want to break your heart, but I also don't want to get the phone call halfway through the musical. There is no Sarah.
What? Who's going to sing Think About Seizing the Day? Who's going to sing that?
It gets sung. I don't want to ruin stuff for you.
I'm
not going to ruin it for you. I know I would have an hour into it been like, where the fuck is Sarah?
Yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about that musical thing.
It's good. You're going to like it.
We're back in Pulitzer's office. He's going to break up the rally. First, he doesn't have any legal grounds to break up the rally, but then he finds out that it's Pulitzer. Joseph Pulitzer wants legal grounds to go break up a rally.
Because he needed the legal grounds to beat the shit out of kids in the street. Yeah. But because we're in a theater...
Well, now it's an escaped convict, and he's going to play cards with the mayor and all the other the giants of the... newspaper age. To include, you guys, the head of the New York Sun, which is Denton's boss. And so people are getting bribed. Oh, and he's like, hey, mayor, we got to talk about campaign season. So he's using the card of getting the mayor reelected on breaking up the Newsies rally. Like, that's a big card to play on this one.
Well... I, again, cannot figure out, like, the stakes are obviously high for the kids. I don't understand why the stakes are so high for Pulitzer with this.
Yeah, no idea. All right, now we're at the rally. Sarah has attended this rally with her now boyfriend, Jack Kelly.
Yes, they are engaged, I think.
Yes, they're sitting at a table together. She's wearing a weird hat. She's done her hair in perfect corkscrews for this date.
I'm going to be honest, not a great date.
No, they do. I mean, because they do the rally part first, where it's like Jack, Davy, and Spot. They decide they're not going to soak the scabbas anymore. He does a little speech up there, and then he goes and he sits with Sarah. Watching your guy give a speech in front of like hundreds of cheering peers. That's a nice.
That's
date.
Fair.
All right.
I'm thinking more of the bloody disaster that happens 38 seconds later.
Yeah,
but
and I'm also thinking of this. Meta sings her song. She's escorted off the stage by her harem of preteen boys.
I just don't fucking get why it had to be so sexual.
Jack gets up from the table where he's sitting with Sarah to go take the hand of Meta, and it clips back to Sarah, and she has this look on her face. This is the only good acting this girl does. You can see it wash over Sarah's face that he has fucked this woman.
Yes.
She knows immediately, oh my God, my boyfriend fucked this 51-year-old hooker. And she's into it. And she's fine with it.
Oh, she has no problem with it.
Then he turns and kisses Meta on the mouth.
Yep.
And like, let's leave aside the fact that like these are two characters who we've made a lot of choices for as Disney. These are also actors. This is also Anne Margaret kissing 18-year-old Christian Bale on the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. I've apparently you've accepted this.
I'm with you. I have all over this, and you just kind of made all the points I had, which was I don't get why this part had to be sexually fueled.
No, it makes.
But also, if it was going to be sexually fueled, we could have done it better than this.
I feel like you have some ideas.
I'm not going to go there though because I don't know that I want to get into the how to make this sexier better. But
fair enough.
If you're going to go for sexy, let's not hit that midpoint, okay?
The thing is, the midpoint
nobody's looking for
weird.
lukewarm sex.
The midpoint for like teens and also the midpoint for hotness. You don't want to hit the 15-16 range, and you don't want to hit the weird middle level hotness either. Both things are awkward. All right. So
it then they break up the rally, and there's a long fight sequence of lots of choreographed fights with punches that miss by 6 feet. Mm-hmm. And then Jack gets I think this is probably Ortega's signature shot, mm-hmm. which is the slow motion
fallback. Slow motion punch,
slow
undercut,
motion uppercut,
fall back. Yeah.
That thing. Yeah. So we get that. Jack's now going down. We now figure out Jack's getting arrested. And a bunch of them get taken to court.
Yes.
And Race is like fucked up. He's got bruises everywhere.
I have a feeling that everybody did their own makeup that morning.
Yes, that was high school play makeup. Yes.
And Max Casella was like, I got beat to shit at this thing. Look at this. Rubbing mascara
yeah, because you'll
all over
notice
my eyes.
When they get to the diner in about 5 minutes, nothing. Cleared up.
Yep.
But so they're going there, and like you see all the kids in one of the cages, and the judge is like, each one of you is fined $5
on the grounds of Brooklyn, Yana.
On the grounds.
On what grounds? On the grounds of Brooklyn. You know how many times I've wanted to say on the grounds of Brooklyn? Have you ever been asked on what grounds before?
Yes.
It's rare.
Yes.
But it does happen. And the temptation to say on the grounds of Brooklyn is very high. Is very high.
What I love, though, is that is a perfect line reading.
Perfect.
Like, Spot and Casella going back and forth. It's epic. When Casella's like, $5, we only got 2 cents.
Yeah, when he says, I'll roll you for it, like double or nothing.
I'll roll you for it, double or nothing, huh?
Honestly, I just watched this. I was like, that is perfect line reading. From a 15-year-old kid and a 35-year-old kid acting in a scene together as if they are the same age.
But so Denton comes in, saves the day. I'll pay all the fines for all the kids, but we notice Jack's not in the corral with them.
No, because he did that murder.
Resisting arrest, assaulting a police officer. We got issues. Jack's got a sheet, mm-hmm. and the warden personally appears as prosecutor for the state, which is bold legal move.
But also the defense attorney. He's going to speak for this boy.
Yes.
He's both
also
things.
True. Yes. And when he's like, let's say Jack's 17. Mm-hmm. I think he's 18, but let's say he's 17. He's like, we want his original sentence of 6 months. Mm-hmm. We want another sentence of 6 months.
Right.
Then I think you should keep him until he's 21. And I'm pretty sure he says, or he has been reformed so that he can lead a thoughtful and productive life.
Yes.
So it's like, it's basically saying, Judge, I would like you to put this 17 or 18-year-old kid in the children's refuge for 3 years to life.
Yes.
Depending on my recommendation.
And like the moment here where Jack Kelly is outed, because Snyder comes up and says, this guy, his name is Frank Sullivan. His mom's dead. His dad is in prison for life or whatever. And it's in front of all of the Newsies.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, honest to God, heartbreaking. Like, it is honestly heartbreaking, the look on Christian Bale's face when, like, all his lies are outed to all the Newsies.
Yeah, when it's unraveled in front of all of his friends.
And he's trying to be like, but what about Teddy Roosevelt? You remember that? You remember that? Like, and the warden's just, like, not responding. It is, I honestly, like, really good.
No, it's incredibly good. And it's another reason I fucking hate Davey, because Davey's like, oh, this lying piece of shit. Fuck you, Davey.
Fuck you, Davey.
Okay?
You've never had to lie about shit in your life. Your life is fucking perfect.
You were mad because your brother, Les, had to lie about his age to sell a paper. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Moving on.
So So then we get Denton saying, listen, I was going to write. No one published anything about your rally. Sorry. I wrote a story about the rally. They wouldn't publish it. I'm being reassigned. They say, are you going to get fired? And he's like, no, I'm getting reassigned. And then he says, as an ace
war correspondent to cover, quote, the important stories. Hey, Denton, maybe phrase it differently to the kids. Like,
Jesus. Like,
I get that Race's bruises healed quickly and stuff, but this is still a very, very serious issue going on.
They're literally going to starve because of this development in your life. Like, tone it down. I've been reassigned as an ace war correspondent. Like, just...
What? And he tried to sell it to him like they should be proud of him. Yeah. When he looks at me, he's kind of smiling. He's like, I've been reassigned.
I'm a newspaper man. I've got to have a newspaper to write for. What? Just say, like, listen, they're not covering the story. Pulitzer got to them. If I don't take this assignment, I'm gonna be out on my ass, and I can't pay the bills, guys. I'm just like you. And then they're gonna be like, you a fucking scabber too. But they're not gonna be like, wow, you know, like, you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, he's a scabbard, but they're not gonna be like, we were fucking conned by this guy. You know?
I also love at the end where the waiter, did you see the waiter shaking his head as Denton was like paying the bill for everybody? The waiter was kind of looking at him like, oh, no. And I swear the waiter was not like trying to make it seem like, no, don't pay the bill. It was more, stop bringing these fucking children to my restaurant.
I thought you were going to say stop bragging in front of each other. You're right.
No,
stop bringing them here.
For the love of God, they smell like piles of shit. I cannot take it anymore. But
also, like, there's never any other patrons in that restaurant. So, like, is that restaurant doing well for the first time ever? I don't know.
They're not there because it's filled with smelly-ass kids with black feet from the soot they walk through.
And
that's why.
Hamburgers, curiously, 5 years before they were popularized in the United States.
So you got a problem with this guy because he's an innovator?
I will say the first hamburger was probably on the market by 1899, but they were not yet popular to be served in restaurants. The first mention of a hamburger was earlier. It was in like the 1840s or whatever, like the invention of the hamburger.
This is an awesome new segment for Heaving Bosoms.
Bing Boom Bong. Fact checking.
Hamburger Corner with Erin.
All right, hamburger report. Okay. So now we're to Jack. He's in the refuge. They're gonna break him out of the refuge. But instead they see him leave in a carriage. He's gonna go to Pulitzer. And
Pulitzer's house.
An incredible meeting with Joseph Pulitzer. Christian Bale and Robert Duvall, two of the greatest actors of our time, going toe to toe in one of the most high stakes scenes.
This will go down in history as the greatest scene ever. Here's why.
Gone down in history as one of the greatest scenes ever.
We enter Jack Kelly into Pulitzer's house, still wearing his ridiculous cowboy costume. And we are to believe that it is like 10 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Maybe later. And sauntering down is a Coke-fueled Joseph Pulitzer.
His home. In
a wonderful suit and a delightful smoking jacket.
At the beginning
cufflinks and all.
Jack Kelly is alone.
Yes.
In his home.
House. Yeah. Woo. That's a choice.
Yep.
And then this is where we get, the deal. And, I'm going to pay you all this money you wouldn't be able to spend in 3 lifetimes, blah, blah, blah. You're going to sell papers for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, Jack's sort of sitting there going, oh, you're going to bribe me now, Joe? That's pretty much all he says.
I will say, one of my favorite lines is in the early part of this conversation is when he comes down the stairs, the first thing he says, when I was your age, I was fighting a war. The Civil War.
Yeah.
And then Jack Kelly says, yeah, I heard of it. Did you win?
Yes.
I thought that was a pretty good line. Okay, anyway. Continue.
I like that line. And I also like the line, yeah, I read about it. I don't just sell you papes, Joe. Sometimes I read them.
Yeah, that's a good
I did like that as
line. All right. Okay.
But this is where Robert Duvall loses his fucking mind. And I don't know. I've watched this movie a million times. I cannot figure out why he gets so fucking mad.
I think I figured it out.
Please hit me with it because it has been keeping me up for years.
Tell us what he does first, and then I will.
Oh, with the yelling? Yeah. With the... Listen to me, boy! You just listen to me! You shut up and listen! You shut up and listen to me for once! And all Jack is doing is staring at him.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
Here's what I think. So the very first shut up and listen to me, he does interrupt him. Or he does say something to provoke a shut up. One shut up. Do you think it's possible? Kenny Ortega says to Academy Award winner Robert Duvall, let's just do a bunch. Let's just do a bunch in a row, and we'll grab the best one. Do you think that's possible? Is he's like, just give me 5, Rob. Shut up and listen to me. Shut up and listen to me for once. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. We're going to take one of those. We're going to clip to the character, clip back.
I can tell you without hesitation that there is 0 chance Kenny Ortega has ever spoken with Robert Duvall. So what you just explained did not happen.
How maybe Robert Duvall said, hey, I'm just going to do 5 in a row.
Again, that would be Robert Duvall speaking to Kenny Ortega. The only time that they've ever spoken or been close to it was when Kenny Ortega saw Robert Duvall and was like, Robert, I wanted to... And Robert just kept walking.
I know how I'm going to do this.
There's no fucking chance.
Numbers, profits. I need money and I need it tonight. That's how I'm going to play this.
Duvall was not waiting for action or cut. Duvall started talking. Hopefully the cameras were on. Then he was done talking and he left.
Well, the reason why I thought that might be the case is you can see in profile Christian Bale there. He looks straight disinterested. He looks like he does not know he is in the frame. No, I'm being completely honest. Like,
I know you're being serious.
He looks to me like he's standing there so that Robert Duvall can have somebody to yell at, but he does not think he's being filmed because he's not reacting at all. And that could be a character choice. I don't know. But like, that's why I thought it might be just like 5 in a row. And then Kenny saw this film and he was like, I like it. Let's keep all 5.
Yeah. That would be literally the only explanation.
Or
because there's nothing else. Do
you think it's possible that the cameras just caught on film a time when Robert Duvall was yelling at Christian Bale because he hates him? Because I think that's also possible.
I like that explanation better.
You listen to me for once.
I totally like that better. God damn it, Christian. We can dub that out. Don't worry.
I'm an Academy Award winning actor. Robert, could we do the lines? Could we do the scene? Can we start from 1?
Bob, you were in network, man.
Bob, you're not anywhere near your mark. If we could just start this over. The line is, shut up, boy. That's the line. You called him Christian a couple of times during that. We'd like you to stick to Jack or Francis, if you could.
You got what we got, director boy.
Also, there's a line in this where Robert Duvall says that he's going to like fuck with his friends. And he goes, what do you think the refuge will do to him? Do you know this line? He says it.
Well, I don't know it verbatim, but I know what you're talking about.
He says, what do you think the refuge will do for him in reference to Davy? He says it with a straight Russian accent, Robert Duvall. What do you think the refuge will do to him? Like, it's very weird.
Just everybody. Choices.
Him.
Everybody.
So much. All right. Davy sees Christian Bale in the street. He tries to white fang him. Go away. Shoo, Davy.
He tries to white fang him.
Go. Go, boy. Nobody wants you here.
I'm stealing that, by the way.
It's from something. I didn't make that up. Oh, so there's this bribe. He's going to give him, the Pulitzer's going to give him this big bribe. And he's thinking about it in the prison cell. He's singing a Santa Fe reprise in his prison cell.
Yes.
Crutchy brings him a roll. And like, I really liked Crutchy being like, hey, Don't let him get you down. That's what you always said, Jack. Don't let him, get you. And he's like, we was beat when we was born. Crutchy.
It's a great line.
Great line. It's true.
Well delivered. Like, I know you hate Christian Bale. I like him. I think he's good. Not necessarily good in this movie.
I want to be clear. Christian Bale is an excellent actor. He's a piece of shit person.
All of that is true.
Yeah. I do believe him to be an excellent actor.
But he ends up taking the deal. And honestly, I think the best thing he got out of the deal was that fly-ass suit. That's a nice suit.
It's a nice suit. It is a nice suit.
Although, breaks the heart of the Newsies, but I mean, I'm just saying he's looking good.
Yeah. And then he comes out and it's like, Davy's like, we don't need you. We don't need you. And, he tries to white fang him back. It doesn't work. He's like, all those words you were saying, they were mine. And it's like, no, they weren't, Davy.
No, they weren't, Davy. No, they fucking weren't. And that's what I wish the line was from Christian Bale.
Yeah.
No, they were not.
All the ideas were mine. I needed one moment of thesaurus from you, and that's it.
Davy, you are Shift F7 to me, okay? I do not need you to come up with fucking ideas. Good luck.
And then the Delancey brothers, the Delancey brothers. They tell Jack they're going to go fix his friend Davy, fix him so he can't walk. And then the Delanceys, they go push Les into a puddle. They grab Sarah. They pull her into the alley. I think that they had Sarah as a lure to get Davy into that alley to beat him up. And they were holding her so she wouldn't get involved. That's what I think.
I think the Delancey brothers take her into an alley, and then maybe that wasn't the plan, but I'm assuming the Delancey brothers were like, well, since we've got her here.
That's dark.
Oh, it's very dark. It's very dark.
And then...
But I also think that I'm right.
Then when Jack goes in and beats up the Delanceys, favorite line in the movie.
Hit me with it.
Is when Davy is like, I guess you couldn't stay away or whatever. And then Christian Bale's like, I guess I can't be something I'm not. And Davy's like, what, a scab? And he's like, no, smot. It's a good one. It's a good line.
And that is straight. I believe that line may be where Matt Damon got the idea for Good Will Hunting. Because that could be the tagline for Good Will Hunting.
That could be. All right. So we go back to Denton. And they were like, did you mean it? Did you really mean what you wrote in this article that we found wrapped around a hot dog in Sarah's underwear drawer? I can't... Listen. We don't have time. But it's true.
But, why do they care if he meant it?
It doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. And then they sit down and they talk about, what do we do? And they decide they need to print their own newspaper. And so they go to the basement of the world where Jack was imprisoned. And they use an old printing press. And he was
sleeping on his printing press.
And they print
a newspaper. By the way, awesome little turn. Awesome little factual little plot device. Loved it. Yeah,
perfect. And then we get maybe the best song in the movie, the Newsies Ass.
It's a really good fucking song. This is the reason we wanted to fight.
Well, tonight is the night that you can. Just get this
done, and by dawn's early light, you can finish the fight you began. This is to even the score.
We're just Newsies no more.
We let Sarah sing.
Think about seizing the day. Okay.
We let Sarah sing in this one.
One line, and she doesn't even sing it on camera. Because this is the only one where they're not live singing in the movie.
And then we sort of flash to the next day, it flashes to them spreading out the Newsies banner.
They're giving out all the papers, and then we're back in the square and we're waiting to see what's gonna happen. And we've got little Les saying, when the circulation bell starts ringing, will we hear it?
Nah.
Max Casella, nah. Puts his arm around, nah. And they don't think they're coming. They don't think they're coming. And then, ding, ding.
Swell.
Ding, ding.
Little swell.
Ding, ding, ding. Bike messengers. Ding, 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 ding. Coming around the corner. When you got a million voices. They're coming. They're bike messengers. And then, who do we clip to? Fucking Spot Conlon.
Well, it's gotta be Spot.
Brooklyn! He's got a pip cane. Brooklyn! Man, it's in mass. And then they go up and they talk to Pulitzer. And Pulitzer says to Jack Kelly, somebody who doesn't act in his own interest is a fool. Why didn't you take this bribe? You could have had $1 million or whatever. And he's like, what does that make you, Joe? What does that make you? Because you're losing money. I don't know where Davey gets these stats. Where does Davey get stats? It's like, your circulation is down 70% since the start.
It's probably something Jack told him on the way up. It was like, hey, did you know that I read in the basement of the world that he's losing 70%? Mm-hmm. And then Davey's like, I can use that. That'll be mine.
But then we find out. In the meantime, Denton has gone to his best friend that he charged up San Juan Hill with, TR. Teddy Roosevelt,
yeah, absolutely.
Governor of New York.
The hero of the film.
And TR's like, we got to save these boys. And so they win. They get their demands of Pulitzer. He caves, comes down. We hold up less. We won. Everybody cheering. Ah! Then like Teddy Roosevelt's coming. They put Snyder in fucking jail. Crutchy slams the door. Make friends with the rat, Snyder. See what you have in common. Slams the door. And this is and then we get Jack Kelly going on the carriage with Teddy Roosevelt. And everybody's sad. Jack Kelly's gone. He's going to Santa Fe. No, he fucking isn't. He's going to Santa Fe.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. He's coming back around the corner. There he is. Sarah was so fucking sad. She lost a boyfriend.
And do you know why? You know why he came back, though, right?
To make out with Sarah?
He never closed the deal with Sarah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's got to get it in. So he gets...
I'm thoroughly convinced he leaves the next day.
Okay, sure, fine. Yeah, but for one night. For one night.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah.
Sarah gets everything she's ever dreamed of. She will spend the rest of her life talking about this one night with her older brother's psychopath friend. He gets off the carriage, runs up to Sarah, fucking makes out with... This is
hard.
This is a hard Disney kiss. This is a good, hard Disney kiss.
It was his first on-screen kiss, and I feel like Christian Bale was like, so it's just a kiss.
Yeah, nailed
so we're just
it.
gonna...
What do you bet Christian Bale is fucking that girl anyway?
Oh, yeah, no, I totally believe that.
Yeah. I don't know how old she is. Please don't come at me with this. So...
They look the same age.
They look the same age. They look 18, all right? Everybody's 18. Okay. They make out, and then it's...
To make Erin feel better about finding Spot Conlon hot, everybody's 18.
16 in this movie. I have looked it up. And then it's the end. They're gonna go do the newspapers in the morning again. Davey's hard now. Now he wears Henley shirts with big stains in the middle. He's like, headlines don't sell papes. Newsies sell pape. Davey, 100% newsy now.
Well, and Davey, dress up, dude. Even back in the day, Jack was wearing like a suit to go sell newspapers.
Davey spitting in his hand. He's cool now. He's cool. He is
cool.
Yeah.
Can we do this episode again? I just want to talk about this movie again.
We can do it, yeah. Once a year, we get together and talk about the Newsies.
Well, we're going to have to do the musical.
Done. Anything we didn't talk about that you have to talk about?
Oh, there's so much we didn't talk about, but I can't, like, we got to get into the special features at some point, so maybe you can have me back and we can talk. Have you ever watched the featurettes?
No.
Oh, all the behind the scenes training.
I'm sure that I have.
It's
but
hilarious.
Not recently.
I guess the only other nugget that I had that is interesting was this was originally not a musical. Yeah. It was supposed to be a straight drama.
Yeah.
And it was obviously a gigantic flop. But it's also the first in the Christian Bale music double feature. So we'll do Swing Kids at some point, obviously.
Well, Cole and I did jointly own this DVD, and it was a double set with Swing Kids.
Two brilliant films.
Yeah, but a different film.
Different film. Swing Heil.
Swing Heil
is the last line of that fucking movie.
Oh my god.
Oh man, this was awesome.
What a rough movie. I wonder if Swing Kids holds up.
I watched it like 6 months ago. It 100% holds up
to
whatever you thought it was the first time.
No way. Okay.
I've got some lady loves if you need a lady love.
Okay.
Of course.
All right, let's do. Well, this is kind of impromptu, so.
So I do have a couple lady loves real quick. Jess and I have been trying to like cut down on single-use plastic. I know that sounds insane.
Wow.
But it's very California.
Hollywood.
I know.
There you go.
But she found these things. They're called Be Kind wraps. They're made out of beeswax and they operate as saran wrap, but they last for like a year. They have designs on them. They're actually awesome. So check those out. That's BeKindRaps.ca, Canadian company.
Wow. So you thought your dad was going to make fun of you for watching this movie last night. How does he feel about those Be Kind raps?
He says hi, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I bet he does.
And the other thing I will tell you is please go on YouTube for like 20 minutes and look up Kenny Ortega interviews for Dirty Dancing, where he's like doing the talk show circuit and like showing Oprah how to dirty dance and shit. Epic.
Also, as long as we're YouTubing, YouTube that Christian Bale yelling at that guy in Terminator.
Yep.
Because that Not is great. A violent, terrible man. That's my lady love. That's it. This movie's my lady love. I love this movie.
I love this movie so much.
Yeah.
It's just, it's clinical at this point.
That Sarah Spot Jack Kelly fanfic that I know is out there, that's my lady love. Go read one of those. And that's it. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, thank you for having me. Love it.
Bye, cool.
See ya.
Hey, you. Yes, listener, you. Are you loving the show? If so, please leave a rating and review in your podcast app. The 90 seconds you take to say something nice not only helps new people find the show, but it makes me super smile over at HBHQ. Also, I've had a few people ask, and the answer is yes. We are still doing the 5-star bribe. If you leave us a review with 5 stars, then we'll do whatever book you want. We're real deep into the list, though, so it might be a while. Lilas! Okay, back to the show.